Alright, here we are with Fellowship of Cybertron Transformers Fellowship of Cybertron Season 2, Episode 2. We're in November 2019, and I am Devin playing the Horizon, and to my left, we have X playing Y.
I'm Tyler, I'm playing Amble, who is the Lantern.
Ian playing Rover the Collector.
Peter as Fighter of Null Space, the Angel.
Mark as Jackima, the Halfling.
Kevin had a shift switch and will not be coming until probably later in the session, considering it's only an hour till he gets out. We'll just ambush him into it, maybe. Alright, gang. Recap what happened last time in Episode 1.
As was prophesized, we fought a Kraken.
Did happen.
A terrifying space kraken.
Made new friends along the way. Precisely one.
Yes. You made a friend?
Yeah, I made a friend.
Remember? A friend?
Yeah. And there was that little cute alien with all the little acidic blood, and it was just adorable.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's all the aliens for us.
No, but for real, Tyler made a friend. Amble made a friend. Like, he found a little Autobot, the Minicon.
Oh yeah.
Ketchup. Comrade.
Nice. Yep.
We found the gear option.
You're a monster. He's a companion.
I thought you were referring to how we fought Waspinator, and it's like, I don't know if we can qualify him as a friend.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you guys found the Alcanor.
Yeah. We saved some people, then we fought some Kraken. Waspinator was there, and then they left.
We learned that those Kraken things exist, and they're terrifying. And there's like a whole fleet of them.
They're out there.
So,
in space.
That's a thing.
We built a colony ship.
Yeah, we saved some squishy life forms.
Yeah.
With acid blood.
So I'm slowly starting to narrow in on how space works. And I know that your standard spiral galaxy, the one we're currently in, is about 100,000 light years across.
Mm-hmm. So
it would take 100,000 years to go from end to end, right? At 1C, which your ship basically can do, but not really. Like, just don't think about it. So I just need to get smaller sample sizes from that to figure out how much time it takes to go from like solar system to solar system, cluster to cluster, and we can kind of start gauging how much time's really passing for y'all. You know, as far as things that are more concerned.
Yeah.
One downtime.
We're almost there.
There we go.
So I titled today's episode, because we have an episode list, Supply Chain.
Ah.
Supply side Jesus?
Yes, supply side Jesus, Nicole.
Supply side Optimus.
Supply side premise.
Our school supplies.
See, they're talking our language. Mine and Tyler's.
Oh, Tyler's slowly being grouped in with you as the money people who don't understand music.
It's just noise.
It's unstructured. It isn't organized or sorted by loudest to smallest sound, or slowest to fastest.
Devin, I sorted your track.
You sorted the track itself, so it's just like quiet, fast noises, and then slow, loud.
It's just progressions of scales.
It's like a well, like ramping up.
I mean, I have to say, there are some like videos like, oh, these are the sorting algorithm, and they add some that, and that sounds nice.
God damn. I should get that for this game because you guys are awesome. So, this is sometime after you dropped that colony ship off wherever you dropped it off at, and took to the stars again, to the void. This is an amount of time later. I know you guys all stopped by the bar to have a drink and did your meal. That happened last session, right?
No, I don't think we did it.
Oh, well then... There's a slam sound as the bartender throws like your drink cups down to the bar and like quickly flips them across to you guys. It's a very quick smash cut, drinks down, slide them down. You know, the hissing sound of the oil and the energon drums sealing and unsealing and resealing.
So whoever needs to fill their bellies,
fill them.
Who wants this spare?
I did.
I needed to take 1.
Well then, have it, I guess.
Cross off your food.
Om nom nom.
Because that's your energon stores.
Actually,
it
I'll tell you
really
what.
takes the rust off.
I actually just realized my food, I only have 2 of them, and I'm like, that's really low for halfling. And then I remembered something.
Oh, your gear went away?
No, I needed
giants.
to keep 1 thing. What I remembered was that, the halfling packed lunch feeds 3 people. So 2 people don't have to actually,
Yep.
though I might need 1 later. You get to keep 1 item. I thought it was going to be my weapon, but then I remembered I can't lose my weapons because...
Yeah,
They're dwarven.
dwarven.
So,
Didn't you
So if
lose
you-
all your
if you
items
feed-
because...
I said, but you're allowed to keep 1 item.
Uh-huh.
I was going to keep my weapon, but I can't lose my weapon.
Yeah, it's impossible to
Ah,
separate
dwarven.
from if they're dwarven made, they're literally just Mjolnir from the comics, where you just put your hand out and they show up.
If you feed me, then I save a bunch of food, and I can use Workaholic with food, and that's really
Yeah.
useful for everybody.
Nice.
If that sounds fair to everybody
Yeah.
else.
Feed 3 people, I'm not hurt, so I don't need to eat.
So you're all sitting down at the bar in your ship's mess hall.
Yep.
Autobot soldiers, your crew are walking back and forth. They're taking care of still bringing the ship out of mothballs from the intergalactic journey you took.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna pull out a little hip flask and pour some energon into my energon. Like, I'm just gonna spice this up a little.
Yo,
I was
Boilermaker!
just gonna say, wait, isn't what you're eating also energon? You're just putting 2 of the same thing.
No, they're slightly different. It's an allegory, goddamn you.
Yeah, my
Slightly
character
kind of
salute takes out a thing of a rolling bot and gives like a nod to Boilermaker for partially for making the beer and also partially for saving his rear end.
That did happen.
It's like, I was only out there for I think a couple of solos, but I gotta say it's like everything I have just sort of went flying.
That'll do it with space, boss. Marketa would like a drink.
Sure, Raketa.
He just snaps out of your wrist. Walks it over to one of the normal size cups and starts trying to lift it up. Just sort of dumps his head in.
chug.
That's amazing. He's like, I get 1 drink.
And now I'm drunk.
He just kind of sticks his little mono-eye head in there.
Huh.
Hey, that's a spirit. You gotta make up for a lot. You gotta make up for a lot of lost time, eh?
Together we share tragedy. Together we share joy.
Hey,
A very specific
joy.
way to say till all are one. So yeah, you're sitting around in vague silence.
Yeah. Just kind of mulling over what happened in the battle and everything.
yeah, that Waspinator was a lot tougher than the last time I remember.
I'll still go down like every other Decepticon.
We did pretty good until we got tossed off the ship there.
I didn't like all the things infesting him. Like, that was...
But ain't that kind of your bag?
Yes, but I don't want to do it for us. Like,
You put it in a jar.
yeah, I study it to see if it could be of use to us, but after watching that, I don't know. It's kind of...
Yeah, fair point. Though I don't know how much of that stuff is Decepticon garbage.
Yeah, they probably aren't as good as I am. It's true.
You're vaguely aware of the tech Waspinator is using. It's pretender shell tech.
Yeah.
So, how's the tag-alongs doing?
We dropped them
Oh, you already
off.
dropped them off. That was going to
They're
happen.
gone.
Okay.
Never
Never
you
mind.
taking off. Job well done.
Yeah. Kept a
Some
few
worms.
plants and things, but nothing. No living. None of the sentient ones stayed.
Alright. Well, I think then, unless you guys got anything else you want to talk about, we'll start the long journey.
Okay.
Good.
You, your navigator or whoever's currently manning the navigation panel points out that they're picking up deep space telemetry from a nearby local group, and they think it might be Cybertronian.
Okay.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna,
was chilling for a few seconds for some reason.
it's gonna take a few work shifts.
Go down for a nap.
1,000 years later.
Right. So yeah, let's start off the long journey. Who would like to begin? Set up a scenario and then ask other people what happens during it.
I'll start. What's your character's name?
Rover.
Rover. So, Rover, while you are cleaning your terrariums, you discover that there are some stowaways.
Oh.
How do you deal with that?
Organic stowaways or... Oh.
Thinking organic stowaways.
Yeah. Define level of sentience.
Well, I mean,
If they weren't sentient, they would just be.
That's
fair.
I think sentient.
Yeah, I guess that's
So
fair.
stowaway.
Stowaway
I guess,
implies
yeah,
So some of the astronauts.
So some of the astronauts from the other things stayed.
They were like,
Okay.
yeah, there wasn't enough room on the ship for everyone, and so we just figured there was plenty of room on this one, maybe.
Fair. Okay,
I'm
I'm looking.
cyclopean for them. It's exactly like
Now-
in Lovecraft where they talk about describing Rilia and like the old Elder God cities being too big for people. It's literally what these people are doing with you guys. You're too big for them.
So now I do have a question about my terrariums because I don't think we fully nailed this down.
Yeah.
What size are they scale-wise?
All right.
On
Let's briefly pause. And we're back. Okay. Yeah. So we figured that the smallest of you are about 4 times the size of a human being-ish. Also mass for being made of metal and stuff. So I think humanoids, average humanoids, come to about just below your knee.
Yeah. Okay.
Middle of the shin,
Which
maybe?
means my terrariums are. I have several acres probably, and then stacked.
Yeah.
Many stories high.
People cubes.
Yeah.
You just convert like one Cybertronian room into a people room.
Basically. Probably, yeah. Okay, so the stowaways are
Astronauts. That's what Tyler
astronauts.
said.
Yeah, yeah. And I found like a dozen of them or so, probably.
I don't know, Tyler. How many do you think?
I think more than that. You found like a little colony.
Oh, a whole colony. Okay. So I assume they're because they did. We had set them up. We were pulling their colony ship, and then I had set up one of my terrariums as a colony for them. I believe is what we had agreed on earlier, because their colony ship couldn't hold all of them or something.
I think no. You guys expanded it to do.
Okay, we
Like,
did.
You used
Okay.
cheap metals and you ripped out all the guts because all you did was put it on your ship.
So it's quite impressive that they managed to make it to my terrarium.
Yeah, they had hookups to the energon tank. I think. Like,
Yeah.
They probably just snuck along through like the little cracks and like support
They
rails.
had decades to just, cut through the hole and...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, hasn't it been like a really long time too? This might not even be the first generation. that's-
No. This would definitely not be the first generation because
Was
this.
actually
It is
the
Cyber Father, the Savior.
might be interesting to not let them know that you know they're there and just keep an eye on them
Yeah.
as an observer.
Because our atmosphere is toxic to them, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
That's why they've got
impressive
space
how they've met. Yeah, the spacesuits of.
I guess you did set up a terrarium for them for fun, and they just moved in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if there's a
It's
whole
just like a
colony
home
there,
planet.
I'm gonna go up to one of them, like, kind of look in on them.
You just loom over the entrance.
No, like not. I'll come in as like a rover form, so that they
Small
in my
child.
disguised form. That way they don't see. And I assume I don't fully fit in the. I probably just fit in the terrariums because I'm flatter and wider.
Yeah, if the terrarium was like a box to ship you in, if it was the toy you came in, that kid's gonna convert into a terrarium full of little people.
Of course, you have a little door just for yourself.
Yeah, like I would design it so I like just fit because when I transform, I'm much flatter. I'm probably only like 6 feet tall transform, but I'm wider.
You're compact.
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe 12 feet tall, but much shorter. And yeah, I'll just roll in to this terrarium
It's gonna come, kill it.
and just kind of poke around, like just observe them as I'm like kind of driving on the outskirts of it.
Their society hasn't devolved, but they basically adapted to be pre-industrial.
Okay.
So the terrarium had a lot of flora and fauna that was kind of like their planet. So it's a lot of Robinson Crusoe going on. They have places to live, they have farms, they have houses that are slightly bigger by the farms where the people who manage the farms and take care of the food live. Clothes, a little bits of industry, textiles.
Okay.
They still have tech, but it's rapidly becoming useless.
That's fair. Yeah, because this would be several generations.
I don't think it's been that.
That
Oh yeah,
long.
because you had to get to the planet, then you're leaving
Yeah.
the planet. So yeah, actually, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
This could be a couple generations that they've been here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna pull on up and see what they do as I get a little closer.
All right. To the astronauts or the colonists, what do you guys want to call these guys?
Colonists. They can be colonists.
All right.
Terrariates?
Filthy stowaways.
The specimens.
Two of the specimens.
Exhibits.
Exhibits.
We're getting dark.
Exhibits.
Two of the colonists. Approach you. Like they walk up kind of to the edge of their encampment where you're kind of rolling in. They're wearing very basic clothing. They're holding hands and they're both waving.
I'll wave one of my little arms back at them.
They watch you for a bit and then they just go back to what they were doing.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I don't have any language skills. So
Air breathing mermaid.
I'm gonna come along and I'll start I'll kind of track. I assume I'm intelligent enough to see because they've started a colony, obviously, of some sort of hierarchy where certain ones own land. So I'm gonna go off to where there isn't any owned land in quotes, and I'm gonna just start building some stuff, and I'll build a medical bay and a bit more of a well-designed greenhouse area and just some interesting tech, nothing too advanced, but things that it looks like they would get to in maybe 100 years, but I'll build a bunch of it.
The main problem they're having is they don't have resources in here for that tech. If you just drill down into the terrarium, you eventually just hit metal.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, I'll build a bunch of that first, and then go out, and I'll go from... I'll work, and I'm going to connect a few tubes to some of the other terrariums, and I'll open those doors so that they can go hunting for other resources.
Do you have any predators in those tubes?
I will check them and make sure, and move any predators to another.
Just reorganize.
Yeah,
the
just kind of
cubes.
shift the
This
cubes.
is like the
around.
movie Cube,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not torture-y.
No.
Just weird.
And yeah, I'll just connect some of the ones that have different things, and I'll put, a universal greeting thing.
Do it, Peter.
Grana with Ninibon.
Yeah. I'll put that and a rough, instructions of if you cut down a bunch of trees, replant a bunch of trees.
They know. They know agriculture.
Yeah. I just double checking
You're not
because it's
speaking
my
to a Stone Age
specimens.
society, and they're interacting with you. They're picking it up.
Yeah. So I'll show them around as I connect some of the tubes and just show them some different things and useful stuff. And then, leave them be.
Yeah, they watch you. They don't directly interact, but they watch and acknowledge you.
Okay. And then
You get also resources. How about we take some of our garbage, just toss it in your thing, and harvest it?
And just wave and head out, because I honestly don't mind if they want to live here.
Yeah.
That's what these terrariums are semi-built for.
Right? They also do have tech too. They do have hydrogen breakers or whatever. They'll take in water and turn into fuel.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
They came here willingly. That means they're not slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
We did it. We avoided it. We avoided the terrible tragedy at Tragedor.
Yeah.
Were these the people that were taking everything out of their planet because it was going to die soon?
Yeah.
So the rule of if you take down trees, plant more trees, might be necessary. Like, they might not actually know how to, like...
It also...
They were a lot of them were astronauts, so they have an understanding of science.
Well, it's not even that. It's I'm sure my character understands that they understand that, but it's also, this is my stuff. Replant it and fix it.
Yeah, like, this is
Like-
your house, so...
like,
these are the
That this
rules,
is
guys.
your responsibility now.
Don't mess up my Minecraft server.
Yeah, that's kind of what my character is just like, yeah, no, you can take some of these trees, but I like them, so
Don't burn it all
replant
down.
them.
Alright. So, after that, set up someone else.
Okay.
You know how this works?
Oh shit, yeah, okay, so for the long journey you just mirror what Tyler did.
Yeah.
Set up a situation, doesn't have to be bad, doesn't have to be good, it could just be a situation, and then, just kind of pose that question to one of the players here. You could also probably have posed to me if I was doing the Overlord, but on the horizon, so you can't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll keep going around then. To... What's your character? Viator. The Viator of Null Space. Okay. Sorry, can we pause for 2 seconds?
Yeah, we can.
Thank you.
We're back.
Okay, so yeah, as Rover finishes up, setting up this new habitat for these colonists, the Viator in Null Space comes on by. I guess he's walking around the ship, hanging out, and yeah, you see that it as far as you're concerned, it does look like Rover plans on keeping these
Okay.
people here permanently.
Oh, so we're having new guests now, Rover.
Yes. I think it's interesting to study their cultures and lifestyles. I have recording devices set up all around, and we can study their ways. It'll help us with other cultures as we visit.
Oh, I suppose that'll be useful. Have you cleared it with, anyone else? Make sure that, we have enough supply, we have that, toxic water around and so on. Make sure that there aren't any leaks.
I've set it up fairly self-sustaining, and I cleared other species with the captain, but I can talk to the captain later about these ones.
You shouldn't be going to pull any, Lilliputian stuff where we'll wake up from the cryo and we'll be all tied up and they'll, try harvesting us for parts. Those things happen sometimes.
Be a mini-con scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're capable of breaking out of this room, to be honest.
I mean, if they have some parts, from our technology in there, eventually they'll discover how to, file one metal from the other and start building those tools, and, maybe it'll go to their heads and so on and so on.
Well, I'll do a scan for anything in my terrariums that shouldn't be there, such as any of our metals. And I'll set up a timer. It's actually a good idea. Yeah, I'll set up a timer to do a scan every now and then, and maybe have one of the mini-cons just go in
Like
and...
Raketa.
Yeah. Maybe not Raketa, but I assume there's random mini-cons and other things on this ship, right?
Yeah, Ecto-3.
Yeah.
Ecto-3 has the same body pattern as Raketa, but instead of turning into a space satellite, it turns into a diagnostic tool of some sort, or some sort of energy container.
Okay. Yeah. I'll get one of the mini-cons.
Comrade,
Yes. Hi.
Ecto-3, reporting for duty.
As when we go into
What would you like me to contain?
cryo sleep? Is it cryo sleep? It's
Stasis.
stasis. Thank you. When we go into stasis, I'm gonna set up a timer, and you'll be in stasis obviously as well. But you'll be hooked up to the timer. And if the scanner finds anything, it's going to just wake you, and you can go in there, take out anything that shouldn't belong in there. And the scanner will
Affirmative.
tell you what to take out. There we go.
Affirmative.
Perfect. Thank
Is
you.
there anything you'd like me to contain?
Nope, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
E levels high intake.
E levels high.
He points to a part of the terrarium where they're burying their dead. E levels very high.
Oh. Let them continue that for now.
Recommend purging.
Not
Not terrarium. Purging E levels.
We'll monitor it for now.
Duh. Avoid spatial drift.
There, that should help.
Well, hopefully they'll contain it. Hopefully they won't. I kind of get some ideas like, we did, where they'll take over the ship, try to destroy it, and sort of big schism, a war to end or wars, and so on and so on.
A very pessimistic view of these species.
I mean, it all has happened before, it'll all happen again. It's, cycles within cycles, and so on and so on. Like,
Well, if they start to... Again, the scanner will see it if they start to break a hole. And I'm sure Ecto here...
Ecto's head looks like it has a faceplate and like binoculars, whereas Rockhead has like a circle. And he just has his like face and body pressed up against the glass, looking in where the cemetery is.
He's probably like already 6 feet tall at least.
Yeah, he's about their size.
Yeah. I'm sure Ecto here is more than capable of handling any minor uprising very quickly.
well, let's hope you're right. Let's hope this is nothing and I'm just worrying, needlessly. So, for the next scene...
Alright, Pete.
Sure, so let's have Jack and Up. Why not have the whole Gulliver's, scene with you, or something that you wake up all tied up by them?
Gulliver's travel situation.
Why not? Sounds like interesting. Like, we go down the stations, then eventually, wake up cycles later.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, your HUD beeps online as Teletran wakes you up.
Something went wrong.
Systems loading. Energon feed engaged. You can feel like Energon pumping into you, getting your reactors kicked up again. Let's see what I got for that. The alarm that's coming on has Ecto 3 signal on it. Like your HUD tells you to activate your unfreeze.
Oh. Okay.
And like emergency lights are going in your tube.
Well, that's not good. What's going on? Engage. Turn on the sensors. Open up all the.
You've been restrained. Your
What
pod
the?
has restraining bolts in it because pods have that in case you're like sick or like you've gone wild or you're.
I'm supposed to be the one who does this to other robots. Or to other.
Ecto's on the glass, tapping on it. He has battle damage.
What the? What the?
Emergency, comrade! You must awaken, comrade. Emergency.
Yeah. So.
Spatial rift.
Right. So I look over him, like look down at the fact that like I've got apparently.
Comrade, you are large and I am small.
Oh yeah. I'll turn on the also like turn on the diagnostic arms that my character has and
You flex out.
yeah, flex out.
Like the Rock flexing out of the cast in the Fast and Furious movie. He's like, oh right.
Yeah.
Of course, my character is like really skinny for a robot. He's like, oh yeah, he like does ridiculous flexing, which makes
He's like jumping and clapping over his head.
So what's
Nominal, comrade. Nominal.
So what's going on? What's the emergency? And why was I covered in this? I don't know, silly string. What is this?
It's the bindings for the cryopod.
Oh, okay.
We have problems. Spatial rip happened in terrarium area. Ecto 3 was dispatched. Could not contain. It has gotten out of hand.
Well, that does sound like my job. Technically, as the ship's muscle. So
Attempted to activate cryopods. The signal was interrupted. Yours activated, but restraints came online.
well, let's get rolling, or let's roll out. That's the line, right?
You transform.
Yeah.
Alright, he does too. He becomes a box and falls on his side.
Okay. I'll pick it up with the with my hook arm and start heading over very fast to the.
You guys are all in stasis.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. This is
Okay.
I think because we have one person who hasn't woken up for this, I think I'll bring my oldest friend with me.
Your longest, oldest,
Longest
most
companion.
old friend.
Yes. We'll wake up Ambles to come by because obviously we're going to need. Your character is the ship's
medic.
medic.
I'm a medic, not a veterinarian.
Wait a minute, I'm not supposed to go in there. Maybe I should wake up the medic.
We must have the doctor. There are casualties.
All right, so yeah, we'll slam the thing with the
You're being awakened very abruptly. Like
Clank,
they're giving
clank,
you adrenaline.
Yo, Doc!
What the
Adreno-John administered.
I don't know what's going on, but apparently,
Warning: core spark engine running at higher megahertz than recommended.
we need some people up and about.
So as soon as I get the adrenal shot, Screamo starts jumping up and running around and going into full alarm mode.
Yes, comrade. It is time to alarm.
All right. What's going on? What's the
Something about a spatial raft. I mean, a rift. It's going on down in the terrarium. I think I'm not supposed to go. Also, there's some people hurt down there.
All right, I'm on my way. I'll grab my walking stick and start hobbling down.
Are you not going to the terrarium?
Well, of course we're going to the terrarium.
Okay, very good. Are you both arrived at the same time? The Jeffries tubes just slide down ladders. Or I guess grab lifts.
Makes sense.
So just... It's like falling damage is that bad. Not with your overshield.
And he's doing the whole run unnecessarily fast and be really excited thing that you would expect from the.
Alright, you 1, 2, 3, 4 meet up. Too many comments. Okay. Doctor!
Yes.
He makes a salute again because he's just saluting you.
Oh,
Because he respects you.
I'll give him a lazy salute back.
The emergency is inside.
Well, let's go on in.
Alright, so the terrariums can like be shifted around and loaded, kind of like, you know, it's variable, like there's storage for them and stuff.
They're on like tracks.
Yeah, they're tracked and can like tessellate around. So the main one you had set up and the ones that you had connected to it are front and center for observation. And, you know, they can be kept connected and stored and stuff. But, yeah, the terrarium has damage on the inside of it, like scoring, and the outside of this room does as well. And there's, like broken turrets and, like, energy sparking from panels around here.
That's a lot of carbons going.
Yeah.
Yes, the spatial rift, very unstable.
Do we see the people?
Oh, yeah, you can see them running around in there. They have, like... it looks like they've set up buildings that have been magnetized on the inside. And yeah, they're running around. You can see things like blips happening inside the tank. It looks like every once in a while, like a red and green kind of like star opens up inside the tank, then closes.
Yeah, you should be the one who to figure out what's.
Like a strobe light.
I'm gonna take a suggestion that you should be the one to figure out what's going on because I got no clue about any of this stuff.
Well,
E levels have reached critical mass, not flushed. Spatial rifts opening.
in Cybertronian, please.
He points to the graveyard, where there's like one of those stars overhead, but it looks bigger than the rest, and things are peeling out of it.
Well, that ain't good.
I guess their sparks have gone bad.
So how do we purge these E levels?
We must take out rogue entities that have slipped through dimensional cracks, and then we must contain them.
Well, that's one with speed.
You're good at that.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna start looking around for rogue entities.
Alright, yeah, there's tiny little things that are phasing into the tech of the ship and making panels detonate. Or sometimes like the machinery will start to move and try to crawl its way out. Calibrate weapons appropriately, and he'll give you frequencies to calibrate your guns to.
Are they mindless entities?
They look malevolent, like they seem to have a maliciousness to them.
Well, let's kick the spark out of them.
Alright, they're no bigger than Ecto-3. There's just dozens and dozens and dozens of them.
I'm getting a weird flashback for some reason as he's just crushing these things in his...
So if you grab one, you phase through it and it shocks you a bit. It doesn't hurt, your overshield will carry the charge, but you can't really touch them. Knock them into phase.
Oh, okay. Pull out the dwarven baseball bat.
So, you two working together if you want to overcome this swarm and knock them back into phase.
Who's rolling?
Do you want to roll or do you want to help?
Do you have blood too?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me roll because I got stuff I can do.
Okay.
These hobbits.
That would be a 10.
Okay, yeah. You absolutely overcome the problem of you not being able to interact with these things, and you're able to bring them back into phase by kind of combining your overshields and your weapons to kind of, blast the place like you're degousing it. Alright, so these stars phase in a bit more, and you can see what they are. They're a little... They range in height to smaller or bigger than a mini-con. They're made of orange and yellow light, almost like plasma, like a star. And they have a vaguely kind of light bulb shape, like a little fireball with like myriads of little arms and legs and kind of a face in the middle of them.
I would like to... engage because I overcome and I got a 7+.
Yeah.
I have the ability to, because of not so tough guy now, I a tough guy. I can pull off a free look without rolling.
Okay.
I am going to find out, is there something unexpected or hidden that we're missing here about this?
The one thing you gotta watch out for is these things can possess metal.
That seems really bad.
Because they're ghosts.
Like a metal or...
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, so he just starts getting like
They're just not that big, so they probably can't possess you, but they can definitely possess the mini-cons.
It's like,
Or some of the Teletran components.
Or it might go all idle hand and have just
Yeah,
a hand
exactly,
attacking
right?
you.
Oh, definitely.
whoa, Doc, my anti-hack is just kicking in.
They're like giggling and laughing on you, so like prodding at your neck and stuff.
Yeah, it's like a big, like, the antivirus program's like a big middle finger.
Yeah.
And just,
No. Yes, have caution.
you should get out of here.
We must contain them.
So I'll try and, yeah.
He form shifts into a square rectangle.
I'll grab it and I'll try and like capture one of the things.
Yes, the trap opens up and starts capturing the ghost. Because Ecto-3's alt form is a ghost trap.
Because of course it is.
Did his
No,
name not
really?
give that away?
Alright. Swallow your spark!
Who are you gonna call?
Jack him up, apparently.
You hear cracking from one of the first aid kits. Like a cracking, sort of an alarm, and some of these spare prosthetic parts start falling out and crawling along the ground towards you. Like hands wrapped in like, mimetic metal bandages.
I'll pass you the container and go, here, I'll take care of the hands.
One of them's going for a gun.
I'm gonna,
boy.
It's going right for us.
I'm gonna bop it with my walking stick.
He like jumps out and kind of scurries away on the floor, like shocking things.
I'm gonna try and pin it down.
Yeah, you can pin it down.
Okay.
Let me up, big guy.
We got another one over here.
It's the big idea. It's a free goal. It's a free solar system.
Not that free.
All right, these guys aren't a threat,
Yeah, not really.
so you guys can wipe them up.
Unless you want to talk to him.
Yeah, you want to talk to them? They're talkable now that you phased them in. They couldn't quite understand you before. They were on a sync.
I got nothing to say to them.
I also posted a picture.
I saw.
It's good.
You want to turn it down? Yeah, do it.
I was just letting you know that the air is usually going to be on when you come home.
Sure. All right.
What I don't get is how these
Whoa.
tiny little people cause these things to manifest.
All right. Ecto-3 shift changes.
Sorry, are these ghosts from the guys they were burying?
I mean, they're ghosts, and the guys they were burying did cause it.
Because, like, the guy was like, oh, there's dangerous levels of whatever, we should
Yep.
deal with this.
Yeah, no one listened to him, because he's a mini-con.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that that's nice.
I just assumed he was a mini-con and didn't know what he was talking about.
Well, nothing to do
You
with
know-
being a mini-con, I just think that's cute. Like,
Yeah, I dare you to say that anywhere around Mega Blaster.
It's like, yeah, you're being racist.
So yeah, Ecto shift changes, his Autobot symbol's red, it starts like blinking green, it goes solid green, then it goes red again. Threat contained.
Good job.
What the?
So how do we stop this from happening again?
We must regularly degauss E levels from terrariums. Sophantic life tends to attract dimensional tearing upon cessation of life.
Can we add that to your to-do list?
It requires larger specimens. My handler, he tries to find a non-Cybertronian word for master, and can't. My Omega comrade handled these scenarios.
So you can't purge it on your own.
No comrade.
My better half.
Can you instruct me in how to purge it?
Yes, comrade.
Well, do so.
Yes, comrade. And he does, and it's actually really simple.
Okay.
So yeah, every once in a while they'll just flush those rifts so, you know, their dead don't come back. That's why they had to magnetize their houses, because you guys weren't around for so long, they had to find a way to stop ghosts from constantly attacking.
oh my god.
Damn.
I can't believe he built an unlicensed laser grid with no safety switch. That's some shady shit.
Licensing offices stopped being operational after the fall of the autocracy, comrade. We are free people now. If you cannot open it, you do not own it.
Of course.
No.
I'm gonna suggest for the switch for the long journeys, we then cut to medbay with you and the mini-cons.
Okay.
So yeah, he's been banged up because he spent a couple amounts of time alone dealing with this. So he needs some TLC and some healing. Yeah, I guess Raketa can hang out with them. And you too, if you were damaged. If the ghosts got you.
No, but he's gonna stay up anyway for a while.
Make sure things are okay.
Hand a couple of functionalist pamphlets to, not functionalist. No, hand
The other ones.
Okay. I was like, whoa, really, Mark? What
No.
the fuck?
No, virtually opposite. A couple disaffected pamphlets to this guy.
You're a brave little scrapper.
Thank you, comrade. You too, very adept. Good doctor. Remind me of Omega comrade.
Well, thank you.
Miss him very much. Separated at war.
Yeah, that stuff goes all around. What was your comrade's name?
Ectotron. He, along with Ecto 3, 2, and 1, took care of Iacon's E levels. Not glamorous, not high in functionist hierarchy. Rare occurrences. Cybertronian life is clean, pure, does not leave behind E-rifts. Like more unregulated and unstable sophons.
Well, I can certainly appreciate the not exactly being well regarded by the old functionalist. Points at his own head, which is a big freaking camera.
Raketa also said, "Aye, comrade. Dark times behind us. Bright hope towards future."
Well, that's the point of the dream anyway. I hope you do get the chance to see your friend again.
He was on Ark when Battle of the Ark went down. They needed him for auxiliary medical purposes. He was also doctoral.
Well, the fallen friends.
Kill all of them.
The not going to bother spending a ration, but the
He actually opens up his chest cavity and takes out a tiny purple energon cube for after processing the ghosts into fuel, and like just kind of like ding.
yeah.
Nice.
Those things weren't those people's souls. It's just when people died, it opens up little tiny rifts wherever those things come from. Because as Ghostbusters points out, the ghosts aren't actually ghosts of people. They're monsters from sci-fi realities.
That's make it more PG.
It would make it more interesting. It was always like dimension aliens that were seeping in. That's what Gozer was.
What about those people in the courtroom?
They were impressions of them, shaped by all the years the judge was on trial putting people to death because he was a zealot monster man. They were shaped by the courtroom's like psychic impression more than anything.
It was literally called the Hanging Judge or something like that.
Yeah, like that was his name, so like his legacy. It's a persona thing or whatever, or whatever you want to call it. Collective unconsciousness. So, yeah, Ectotron, and he had his mini-cons, which are like the proton wand, the trap, and the scanner. That's an actual licensed Transformers character from Transformers and the Ghostbusters, by the way. That's a real character.
You're not
That's
just
good.
making this up.
No, I'm not drunkenly.
At one
making up
point,
an
they also
insane
team up with G.I. Joe. So
Not at one point. Throughout their entire career.
There's a whole comic book around it.
There's multiple comics where the G.I. Joes and the Transformers have to work together to stop Cobra.
You know what I love? When they're in Megatron's mind, and he's like, and I do not believe in ghosts.
Yeah,
And that's
ghosts. People believe in ghosts in Cybertron. The supernatural shit's real. Also, those little blobs are from Transformers 2. They're Kremzeek. One time, Megatron found a ghost that became his pet for a while.
That sounds about right.
We're doing coke and writing children's shows.
I don't believe in ghosts, but I have one, a pet.
Different Megatron. That Megatron definitely believed in ghosts because he kept having to kill Starscream.
Fuck off, ghosts.
Alright, well, I guess, unless you got anything else you want to hang out with your little 2 mini-con buddies, whoever wants to make a bond with Ecto-3 can.
Maybe Ian.
I think the doctor bonded better than.
Alright. His stat is light is green, trap is clean. He's very good at capturing energy beams and transforming them into fuel.
So they're a renewable fuel source, you're saying?
I'm just saying, you're going to come across a Decepticon planet in the future that Gozer's on, it's not going to be great for you guys.
So much fuel is flying about.
We didn't know that mass graves would have created a problem for us.
You're saying problem, I'm saying solution.
Fucking Vin's Clortho's gonna show up and attack. And an Elder Schlorb.
Nobody think of anything.
Yeah, that happened in Ghostbusters vs. Transformers. It takes place just like the cartoon does. The Autobots leave on the Ark, the Decepticons conquer Cybertron and come back. And then, as they're celebrating and stuff, a force shows up on Cybertron that looks exactly like Gozer from the movies, but it's a mechanical Gozer. And the dogs are there, but they're also Cybertronian, and like they fight Megatron. And he's like, "What are you doing here?" It's like, "You have to choose the form of your destructor." And he's like, it's like, "You don't tell me what to do." And he's like, "Nobody think of anything. We're not playing this asshole's game." And then goes like, the traveler has arrived. The form has been chosen. And they're just like, "You coward! I didn't think of anything. None of us did." And Starscream goes, "Oh, well, actually, just for a fleeting moment, Lord Megatron, I tried to comprehend what great beast could possibly end Cybertron and my glorious leader." And they all turn around as a 700-foot-tall Starscream breathing fire, wearing the crown and cape, is stomping through Cybertron with Megatron's severed head on a chain that's also screaming, breathing fire. It was just a moment. And Megatron's like, "Everyone, this is an emergency. We have to fan out and contain this." Like, he immediately gets down to business. Oh, also, and shoots Starscream in the chest. We're talking about this later.
So, journey done.
Journey done. Yeah.
Well done.
You guys get through your first long journey. Almost in time for Kevin to be home. Okay, let me find what we got. So, same scene happens as last session. Your pods come online, you're all woken up. This was a shorter trip than, crossing galaxies like your original sojourn. And yeah, cruise up, ships coming out of hibernation because it was, only so often recharging, like refiring the engines to keep constant speed. And yeah, ship lights up, and you have signals to analyze and leads.
Okay.
There is a Cybertronian signal weakly coming from a nearby system.
Well, if it's Cybertronian, we gotta go check it out.
Agreed.
All plays on the trap.
So I will.
All right, so who wants to investigate the signal? Like, how do you want to do it? Do you want to do it ahead of time, or do you want to fly in blind?
I assume do it ahead of time.
I want flying blind.
Well, who's in charge? Now the captain and
Yeah.
the second captain.
Yeah, who's second? Who's first officer?
As we're making our way up to...
I have one copy of the captain.
It's the potted plant.
I almost thought, Ian, when you were opening your mouth, you're going, well, as the first officer, I think I'm the first officer.
Well, I am the pilot, but I don't think that's relevant. No, I was going to say, as we make our way up to the, deck, I'll look at you two guys
The officer's punch.
and be like, oh, by the way, I checked the security cams of my terrariums. I owe you guys some energon. Just leave it. Just leave it at that. Just keep going to the deck.
Excellent. I checked the tapes. That was crazy.
Yeah. I owe you guys some energon.
Oh, and the sign that has the no me on it has been turned around.
Yeah.
Because he had to go in.
Yeah.
That makes it legal.
This sign can't stop me because I can't read.
Don't tell me what to do.
Just perfect.
Okay, we're on the main deck.
Yep. So yeah, throw it at me, guys. You have all sorts of tools and moves and powers to look closely or investigate. Throw it at me. What do you want to know? What do you want to look?
We could use our sensors. Who's our navigator?
I'm
Peter?
the navigator.
Fighter? Man.
Yes. Sure. Let's spend the use of sensors to ask 2 questions for look closely without rolling.
All right. Throw it at me.
Is something hidden out of place? If so, what looks suspicious?
That's really goddamn vague. Something's out of place. All right. Well, there's a Cybertronian symbol coming from this system. The system's fairly small. Has a normal yellow star in it. Several gas giants, and the moon of one of the gas giants is giving off a Cybertronian pattern. What is out of place is the pattern doesn't match any Autobot or Decepticon codes from the war.
Well, that's odd.
Hmm.
I mean, that could be really good. It could be really bad.
Yeah.
What's going on here? What do my senses tell me?
What's going on here? There are several ships in orbit around that moon, and you don't recognize the pattern to them. They seem to be 2 different types, and they're working together. It looks like just from your scans you can pull up. One is large and UFO shaped, basically, and it's locked in an orbit around the planet, and ships keep faring up to and from it. And then there are longer, sort of military-styled crafts, just kind of like 1 or 2, like 2 of them just hanging around that ship, and they're a different make, different species.
Can we get the comms out that far?
Can you interpret this signal at all? I mean, you got that book of yours.
Okay, I pull out my book and start comparing this to try decoding this language.
So it's not a language that the signal's giving off. The signal's giving off basically like energy signals, telecommunications, diagnostics, general Cybertronian stuff to say, hey, there's stuff here.
Okay.
We are here.
So it doesn't send message, just like there's an activity there.
Yeah, it's more like a transponder beacon.
Okay.
And it's very faint, not in that it's weak, in that it's coming from like underground.
Hmm.
Well, if it's coming from underground, then those ships have got in orbit have got to be something else.
Well, they might be coming for the same thing, or they might be unrelated. Maybe it's another one of the Cybertron that got buried somewhere in deep, and
Could be like the situation we just left.
Oh, I hope not. That was... Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Seemed kind of standard to me.
I don't know. Did you see Waspinator? That was That was not.
Oh
Stan.
no, I don't mean him. I meant the planet, not.
Oh yeah, the humans. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, we can deal with that.
Biosophons.
Oh yeah. The organic things.
Yeah, I gotta admit that bot did suck.
So we just gonna jaw about it, or are we gonna head on in?
Yeah. Their ships don't look like they can pose a threat.
Probably not, just from the tech they're carrying. They look like they're military based, but probably not those ships.
Well,
And the largest one looks like it's built for armor and transport. You can, even from here, bouncy signals, as you get closer, you can find that there are hollows in that large mothership.
Yeah.
Storage hollows.
Yeah.
All right, as you enter the system, you come in from outside the system, get closer, start to get into orbit around the gas giant, where the moon is. Yeah, you start picking up signals from these people. They're hailing you.
Our
I'm going to pause because Peter just
translator.
left.
Translator.
You guys could have spoken English before Peter picked the angel. Yep. Now,
Damn you, magical mermaid.
air-breathing mermaid. Art of the deal. And we're back. So yes, you're being hailed by one of those two longer ships, the battleships.
Well, patching it through. Like,
Alright, alien comes on screen and just starts talking at you guys in a language you don't understand.
take out my book. and-
Literally everyone in the bridge is just staring at.
I was expecting all of you to start yelling the universal greeting.
Bowie Grana with Nineveh.
Oh, do you actually do?
Yes.
Oh, he looks confused and then responds back. And then he starts tapping some things. Cybertronian, right?
Yes.
There it is.
Is he speaking Cybertronian?
Yeah, he spoke to you in Cybertron.
Oh.
Close
You
enough.
got universal greeting.
Oh wow.
So this alien is large, human patterned, organic, clearly cybernetic components installed in him. He's about the size of you. He's in like clearly what looks like military or official looking armor and has like, you're being a cultural expert, like there's clear indications that he is someone who is in charge, and he's sitting on a bridge of a Space Hulk looking ship, like it's all like metal and guardrails everywhere. And you can see smaller aliens, more used to the size you're used to, like human sized, walking around the railings around him because he's in a command chair basically.
Oh.
Alright, interesting. This is the Hus Security Force. I am Captain Grieve. Why are you entering this area? It is private.
We picked up a Cybertronian signal. Came here to investigate.
The interference from the planet. That's being caused by the atmosphere of the planet bouncing off the gas giant. It's gibberish. There's nothing decipherable about it.
Well, that's not what our sensors are telling us.
Yeah, we'd still like to investigate.
This planet is under the jurisdiction of... Oh, shit. God damn it, I have...
Hus Security Force?
No. This planet's under the jurisdiction of...
The ability to lie with ridiculous.
Oh.
I'm back. Trust me, I got the thing. The system is under the authority of the Star League. And they've contracted out HSF to protect it while they engage in mining operations.
Well, we just want to have a look around and just double check for our own scanner purposes. And this way we don't make a mistake again. And of course, we'll compensate you for your time, and I will pull out my prize. This item is priceless. When you flaunt it, you may spend one use to make someone desire this thing above all else. They will do anything to have it.
Okay, do you define what it is, or can I define what it is?
You can define what it is.
It's a giant ruby.
Okay.
A Mox
Giant.
ruby. I thought they had all become extinct. Alright. I can let you down the planet as I'm in charge of the security force here. But you probably don't want to go down anyway, Cybertronians. It's, one, it's a demon planet. Two, there's hostile organics on the surface. We've been pushing them back for the last few cycles.
We'll be in disguise.
Alright? He doesn't get that. It just goes over.
They use cars and rovers and
Just imagine like a planet populated by like greater demons of corn, and then like a bunch of pickup trucks are on the ground. And just sort of stare at them, shrug, and go off.
It's much worse. All right. I'll meet you in your shuttle bay. We can do the exchange, and I'll escort you down to the planet's surface.
Very well.
All right. He just flicks on the comms. This is Captain Grieve of the HSF. I'm transferring permission for a surface-bound mission to Pandora. Yeah. After a while, his shuttle comes in. Again, he's like your height. He's clearly in armor. He has a few other aliens like him with him, and there's a small support crew on the shuttle he was with that are tiny, different aliens.
Hey,
Wa meet Winnie Gra.
yeah, Finn.
Yeah. Back at you.
Yeah.
Puts out his hand.
I'll pass him the ruby.
Feet set.
So I also have, I'll buy it at a high price. When you offer something precious to someone and they accept it,
Oh god.
forge a bond with them as normal. I don't know is he forge a bond worthy?
He is definitely Forge a Bond worthy, but he's not Forge a Bond-able.
those.
He's the boss of this area, so you can't
Okay.
forge bonds with them, but it does something else.
Okay.
There's a substitution for it. I just gotta look up what it is. Anyway, continue talking.
So I forge a bond with them as normal, and then I get to choose one of the following. I can heal one of their stats and heal one of mine. I can force them to owe me a favor that they can never refuse. Or what I gave them was a fake. I do not lose my precious item, and my gift won't be able to do whatever they wanted it to do.
You're a big piece of shit.
I didn't say that was what I was going to do.
So General Grieve is the boss of this location currently, and he has the Heart of Fire move naturally, which means that you don't become companions with him, but you still have a bond with him. You can embrace that bond at any time to buy a reprieve. They can show you mercy, tell you something valuable, or ignore you for the time being. You basically spend your bond to be like, no, we're buddies.
Okay. And what's his name again? General.
Grieve. Captain Grieve of the HSF. And he puts it in his pack. What are the options you choose?
I'm gonna choose. He owes me a favor, and I can cash it in at any time.
Basically,
'Cause
just bought 2 bonds with him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be a dick about it and make it
Sorry.
because I'll get back my items later, but like
When you kill him?
no, like I can refresh items, but I don't need to be a dick about this. Like my game plan for this move is to give the people things Cybertronian tech. And then as we leave the planet, be like, and it wasn't actually Cybertronian tech. That way we don't disrupt the Prime Directive.
Aren't you really upset by giving him that Mox Ruby? No, it has a teleport button. Click.
Yeah.
Damn you!
It was a fox ruby.
Alright. So you want to head to the Pandora surface? Again,
Yeah.
demon class plan, so just gestures at you guys.
So,
Yeah.
I don't suppose anyone wants to scan the planet.
Scan.
Demon class, hyper-organic. It's an entire planet that's a rainforest full of organic life.
Full of acid. I'll be fine. I've got protection.
You do.
Do you have the environment protection thing?
Yes.
He has all protection.
Yeah, I have the avatar custom.
Alright, well, he gestures to his shuttle.
Okay.
In you go. We came in here a few cycles ago and were contracted out for the Star League. The ISH has started causing trouble, so we're gearing up for war. Well, they're gearing up for war. We're gearing up for a fairly profitable couple cycles. But we need material for warships, quantum drives, the relay systems. We need new engines for the relay system. So they contract us out to deal with this planet once their normal mining teams couldn't. The local population is incredibly resistant to our mining ops. It doesn't help that they built most of their settlements on top of the material we need.
Why don't we have a take a talk with some of the boys aboard the ship there? If you're having any trouble, not that I mean to disparage your abilities to cause mayhem, but we Cybertronians are pretty damn good at that sort of thing.
Oh, I heard the stories about your kind before you withdrew from the Star League and went insular.
Do you have any idea what he's talking about with Star League?
Looking
over at the oldest and most wise.
It's vaguely familiar. I mean, it's been a lot of cycles.
It's like, Robert, don't you have some books on that stuff?
Yeah.
Your gear options?
I can pull up using my catalog. I can ask one question with the look closely for free. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Alright.
So,
What the hell is this guy talking about?
yeah.
Like, what's going on with
Sure.
that stuff?
What do you know about specifically? The Star League?
Yeah. What about the Star League?
The Star League is, as it sounds like, an intergalactic coalition of worlds that were aligned to keep each other from going to war and destroying each other, and also provide basic network support across vast interstellar distances in the cold depth of space. Cybertron was one of the founding members of Star League before the Golden Age started its decline, and they became insular and more... what's the word when a country starts kind of just...
Isolationist.
Isolationist, yeah. This is when Cybertron transitioned to its isolationist phase, withdrew all of its intergalactic community worlds, and just left a few colonies within its own home galaxy. And retreated to Cybertron, and then the autocracy started to rise up from that.
Okay. I'll relay that to you guys.
A little before my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah. It would have happened before the autocracy happened. So if any of you happened after or during the autocracy, it predates you
Yeah.
by millions of years.
A few million years here, a few million years. Pretty soon that starts to add up.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, you guys start descending down. Where's your signal coming from? Do you give them coordinates?
Boop,
vaguely?
boop, boop, boop. Yep.
They're a wide area. It's like, yeah, that's a hot zone.
Can you take us down the way we can head in there?
We have a forward operating base that I can bring you into. It's fairly well protected. We've repelled a few incursions.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a big military op. There's a fair amount of his people in what looks like power armor spacesuits walking around, and smaller people in what looks like industrial mech suits that lets them be a little bigger. Kind of like maybe up to half your height.
Yeah.
Power loaders, exosuits.
Neat.
Okay.
This is where we bring in the Naquita we mine and bring it in for processing to bring it up to the ship.
What is it you mine?
Naquita.
Sounds like that's hard to obtain.
You can only really find it around systems that have had interactions with either dead stars or reality vergences. It's highly charged radioactive material that we use to build star drives, as well as some of our more exotic particle weapons. Can't produce it, you can only mine it.
Someone want to do a look closely at this stuff to see?
Oh, yeah, they have a shipment of it here. They have four.
Real quick question. I feel like I have to ask this.
Is this Avatar?
No.
Because
It is, yes.
It's obviously.
Except they're like this is private. So, but no.
There's 5 different shows going on right now. Because Hus is a Husnock from TNG.
So, no, my question was regarding the fact of FTL. So we don't have FTL.
No, you don't have FTL.
So theoretically, getting FTL would be a good thing for Cybertron. Or do we just not care?
If you want.
Just Cybertronians are like,
It's never really bothered you guys.
I personally am interested in it. But that's something
You get to go places faster, but it's like you're on a highway, right? And you're just like, the highway's totally empty, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you can go 100 on the highway. You're like, I'm going 100 on the highway. And it's like, okay, but you can keep going faster. You can go 150, 180. Do you do it? Do
Not
you care enough to
yeah.
go like 200 on the highway?
Yeah.
You know, there's no one else on the highway. You're not going to crash or anything, but do you care enough to just gun the engine that fast? Does it really matter to get there a couple minutes quicker? That's not even a shame thing like don't speed. Speeding's bad.
Yeah.
It's just, that's what it is for you guys. You're already not really affected by time or age.
Yeah. My character's intrigued a little bit by it, but it's not like a driving force for him. Yeah.
They always like take a new beginning into a tinkerer.
My character just likes it for the commerce opportunities. He could like stick it on the shuttle and do like supply runs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shows you some of it if you want to look at it. It's highly reactive. It stores energy. It's like a natural capacitor.
Oh.
So it's like an energy.
It is actually like you recognize energon patterning in it.
Yeah.
It's just it's different. It's an exotic form of material that has energon. Yeah, he picks up the veins. Like you can see here, exotic particles here have impregnated the material and give it its properties. I'm not an egghead. I just work with this stuff in the field. The element inside, the element 0, is what gives it its properties.
Interesting. Might have to collect a sample of this.
The element 0, where Ezo creates a
Oh yeah,
mass effect.
he's not a science man, so he's not going to go on gushing about it.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we gear up and roll out.
All right, he'll come with, and we'll move into a new set piece, the Hidden City.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, let me just quickly pause. We're back. So yes, the captain will escort you. Honestly, no, he doesn't have to escort you because you have a signal and you kind of can figure out what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't go out with 4 aliens alone.
That's fair.
I have things to deal with here. We have a schedule to keep, and we're already being delayed by this entire mess. Local wildlife is hostile. If anything comes at you, shoot it.
Hey, that's the kind of instructions I can get behind.
All right, and he just kind of stares at you as you
Okay.
Thank you.
leave.
We'll be back.
So, you have an outdated and not entirely complete map of what you're looking for, which means we get to go through this step by step. So, this planet is a lush alien world full of bioluminescent everything and super predator animals that are bigger than people, but about, like, normal size for you. So, a tiger on this planet would be a massive apex predator, but for you it's the size of a normal tiger. Like, scaled to you guys, it's a you-sized tiger.
Okay.
Anything else, it would be an unending nightmare you could never escape. For you guys, it's like, oh shit, it's a big cat, shoot it. So, what I'm going to ask is, Tyler, define a landmark on this paradise hell planet for us.
There's a giant bioluminescent tree that towers above the rest. And its root system extends out and entangles with all of the other nearby trees that are by it, creating one kind of like vast organism.
All right. And Mark, I want you to name a location.
There is a huge graveyard of like the massive animals, even larger specimens of them. Surrounding some small, innocuous-looking, completely an idyllic area, and all these skeletons just around it.
Okay. So, your scans show that what you're looking for is in between those 2 locations. So, to find it, you'll have to head to one of them and start from there. Triangulation.
Okay.
All right. So, which one do you want to start at?
Well, we had some experience with some dead things recently. Should we start there? See if there's any E elements around.
Yeah.
All right, you begin your trek through the forest. Yeah, everything here is sized appropriately to you, which you're not quite used to, but it's all made of living things, carbon.
Organic.
That's the second biggest organic cat I've ever seen.
I'm like taking samples from things as we go.
I must clone it.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, some predatory animals. Large, armored, full of horns, multiple eyes, and like bioluminescent bits on it is going to like approach you and start challenging you because you're in its territory. Like a big alien rhino.
Challenging us how?
It's walking up and it's bellowing at you and it's like trying to like spook you off.
Okay.
Speak
I'm
soft.
gonna try and soothe it.
Alright, how are you going to soothe it?
I'm just gonna. Well, I'm gonna take my lantern, and it's gonna start. Well, it's not. It's not gonna be alarming. But it's
It's
gonna.
pretty alarming to see you.
It's gonna start pulsing slowly and gently, like in kind of like a soft, supple glow.
Like a will-o-wisp.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make a lot of calming gestures and speak quietly and gently to it.
Alright, roll. So this is, I think we're saying, speak softly.
Sure. Which is going to be an 11.
Maybe like talk sense? Because they're trying to calm it down or something like that. You try to get it to do something like that, get information out of it.
Either one, the roll will be an 11.
Okay.
Alright. Speaks honestly. You can ask questions of this creature and it's going to treat you better because you calmed it down. Actually, the listen speak softly is pretty good.
What do they want and how could we help them get it?
They're scared that you're in their territory, so they wanted you out of here. And basically they're protecting their nest because it keeps getting disrupted and destroyed by, you know,
Mining.
monsters. Mining, yeah, there's like scorch marks around this area and stuff.
Okay. What would they have us do next?
It just wants to be protected and its nest to be safe and to not be attacked by predators. Because it's a, it's a defensive herbivore.
What were they doing and what are they going to do next?
They were patrolling the area for predators, and now that you're not a predator, it's probably going to go back to its nest where its young are.
Okay. Alright, guys, just settle down, walk softly, give it some room, and we'll just go by.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. It like watches you as you leave and kind of starts to slowly turn around and walk away. Do you want to forge a bond with it?
Sure.
Yeah.
As it leaves its young and joins your party.
Well, it might show up later, but it'll walk off.
Hey,
What
Robert,
is it?
put this in your terrarium.
Pardon
I
me.
mean,
What is
heck
it?
yeah.
Pandoran rhino. Alright. So, yeah, you guys continue on. The foliage and the nature here is dense and in the way. Everything's kind of compact and overgrown, making it hard for you, metal titans to traverse.
Also, does this location have like a tag
The
or?
location stat it has is jungle. That means that this place is dense, thickly foliated, and well populated, and a nightmare to navigate.
Okay.
If someone had protection from that, they could just move through gracefully without a problem.
Well, I can.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just pause real quick. All right, we're back. So yes, this is the next challenge I'm gonna throw out at you. Dense foliage.
What about it?
It's in your way.
Rover's having a lot of difficulty with this.
Are you in your alt mode?
No, I'm in my regular mode. But
Alright.
even regular, I'm trying to switch to alt mode and then being like, no, that's not gonna work. Going regular mode, like
this place is swarming with like deep, like high roots and stuff. Like this is like the Hobbit burrows where it's all hills and dense jungle foliage and stuff. Like it's not great for scientific instrumentation.
Yeah, I'm not designed for this. I'm clearly struggling trying to get through here.
I'm gonna deploy my explorer's gear, which has the useful tag.
Okay.
And I'm going to use it to cut through and part the foliage.
All right. So that is the trap I set, as that raises the response level, which I'm not supposed to really talk about aloud a lot, but it's the first time it's happened, so I'm going to mention it to you guys.
You disturb the natural habitat.
Yeah, basically, harming the local wildlife makes the area get more dangerous. So, let me quickly repause again. Okay, so as you're going through, a lot of the plants here start to make like a thrumming sound, or like the sound of like moving, taut wire or cabling. Like if you move like a key or something across it, starts to kind of like make it vibrate. The trees are all starting to do that, and they're releasing spores all over the place. And these spores are caustic. They're not hurting the local wildlife or the plants here. They're irritants to the local wildlife, but for your inorganic frames, it's caustic. It's basically a phosphorus storm.
Holy.
So yeah, those are soft cuts coming towards you. You guys are going to start taking damage.
I'm going to use one of my strange curious items, which has the useful tag on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it's a spray can, because I've been in areas like this before doing experiments and sciencey stuff. I'm going to say it's like a spray can of WD-40, and I'm just going to like spray myself down. And
the other suggestion I'd make is it's like a converter for your overshield to like pop
I was going to be like WD-40, so all the spores just kind of like wipe off of us.
Sure. We can go Looney Tunes with it. It's all
Sure, we get our oiled up.
Oh no. Oh god.
Like a bug repellent, but yeah. So I will use up. Is one use for the party, or is it? I don't know how useful.
It's one use for you. You've overcome the cut.
Okay.
I'm going to overcome it by using my little light, which has the light convenience trait, which gives it useful, and it can take the form of tools.
Oh.
So it's going to transform from a blaring siren to a leaf blower with little flashing red lights on it. And I'm just going to blow away the spores.
All right. Excellent. That's working. You two?
You're going to not care because you've
No, I can only be immune to one stuff in the area.
Also, this isn't part of the location tag.
Yeah.
This is the bad weather move that always deals soft cuts.
Yeah. So I'm going to use my language barrier to make one of my words useful, and I'm going to use my power word stop to make the things stop before they reach me and just like fall down.
Cease.
I will basically. Like, what, you think this is bad? I used to pull bots from the down from the caustic areas all the time. That was literally my job for like 300 years. Overcome.
All right, do it. How?
Oh Lord, no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right. Well, oh Lord, no means it happens. You take damage.
Fair enough.
Damage a stat.
His frames is actually built to take caustic damage, but the optics, especially the ones that were replaced for the Aperta, were not.
All right.
That makes sense.
All right. So, after getting through that caustic spore storm and the predator animals, you arrive at the graveyard. Yeah, large super predators here. It looks like their bones and carapaces have been left. Roots are growing into them. There's foliage kind of all around, and yeah, there's a central sort of landmark. It looks like standing stones.
I'm gonna pop out Ecto-3.
Comrade.
What's your read on this area?
Area is operating in normal parameters. No dimensional rifts detected. Scenario seems degaussed.
It's good to hear.
Seems to be degaussing repeater at Centaur.
Organic?
Correct.
I wonder what killed all these things.
Well, maybe something in the center.
Alright, the standing stones at the center are covered in vines and moss. They have a fair amount of, like, it looks like they're not made of stone, they're made of petrified, like, plant matter. And, yeah, they're arrayed in such a way that the energy that kind of washes over this planet from the atmosphere and the magnetosphere naturally degausses the area so it doesn't cause any organic rifts.
I guess I examine the thing, see whether there's any markings on it, or does it just grow like this by itself.
Just grow like this on its own.
Well, this looks like more of your thing, Grover.
Yeah, I'm gonna use books and catalogs to look closely at it.
You could also just roll your senses.
Yeah, why not? I'll roll sense on it.
I guess we were working together,
Where's
so
my
roll
rolls
with
and dice?
hope.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna roll for look closely.
Roll 3 and 6, because we're working together.
Okay.
With hope.
That will be a 14.
Hey!
Whoa.
You got a 10 plus?
Yeah, double six.
What do you want to know?
665 there.
It's
It was
nice.
a good roll. I will talk or roll terribly from now on.
I know, right?
Okay, look closely. Where is that? There we go. Okay, so these standing stones are doing something with the energy. Is there anything Cybertronian here?
I mean, you still can detect
We're
a
still-
signal in the
it's somewhere
area,
in the
but this
area?
isn't
Okay.
Cybertronian. This is
This is
plant
organic.
meat based.
Okay. And you said earlier it wasn't designed; it just kind of grew this way.
Seems like it would seem to your scientific, analytical mind this is just natural convergent evolution.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's going on here? What do my senses tell me? We'll go a little deeper into that then.
It looks like this is a natural animal graveyard. Animals come here at the end of their life to die. And it looks like these stones are giving off a frequency that detracts like young healthy members of the species to like predate here.
Okay. Interesting.
You remember the scans you took of the planet coming in? These structures, while not super distinct because, the planet's... Well, it's not a planet, it's a moon. It's a small moon, so you're able to kind of pick up that these, in regular patterns, are on the surface of the planet.
Interesting. How could it hurt me or help me?
Well, it could help you by keeping out any dimensional rifts from forming, and it couldn't hurt you.
Okay.
It cannot hurt you.
Yeah.
Unless we burn to the ground, release all the...
I'm definitely going to take notes on it so that I can design a similar organic thing for my terrariums.
It's complicated. You would definitely need samples.
Okay, I'll take some samples and stuff.
Perfect. Defacing a cultural
cool.
landmark. That's another one.
And I got a third question.
Deface a place of power?
What will happen if I take samples of this thing?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay. Then I'm definitely taking samples of this.
Nothing.
Cool.
Consequence.
Let's see what's gonna happen. Let me briefly pause. All right. So as you're taking samples in the distance, you hear bellowing. That sounds like those animals that Amble was kind of sedating earlier. It sounds different though, deeper and a little more rhythmic.
Finish taking samples. That's normally not a good sound.
Something is approaching from the clearing at the edge of this graveyard. It's big.
What does it look like?
It is about your sized. Large, muscular, covered in like bioluminescent striping and a thick sort of furred hide. Canine cat features, humanoid, like it looks like a large cat dog man, covered in scars under the fur and wearing hides that are stitched together. In its hand, it has a large spear that's tipped with that naquita metal. It has multiple sets of eyes on its head, and one of them's been kind of carved out.
You want to say hi, Taki?
Bowie Grana with Nini Bong.
It'll make the same. It does universal greeting back,
Ah.
and like approaches, weapon ready.
Hi there, are you one of the locals?
Yes.
Take on the dictionary. Okay.
You shouldn't be here.
We're looking for more people like us. Have you seen any?
The only people like you come from the sky. The Night Terrors.
They ain't us. We're a different group.
This looks the same.
There's some stuff underground. That's where the signal was coming from.
It usually is.
Like a little bit like us. Either some stuff we left, our people left here a long time ago.
We don't bury your kind. You don't rot.
Look, we're picking up a signal. One of our signals. We're just looking to locate where it's coming from, and then we'll be out of your hair.
You can't be here. You're trespassing.
Like I said, we aim to be
Wait a
moving
minute.
on.
What?
Looks over at this guy. Speaking Cybertronian. Right?
He's not speaking Cybertron.
No, I'm translating it.
Oh, you're
He's
translating.
translating.
Peter's doing the
Okay,
thing.
I was wondering.
Yeah, Peter's doing his thing.
See, languages and RPGs always suck.
Right? People are trying to argue, oh, you just have to do these incredibly contrived things and then languages are good. It's specific to the games we used to play. And it's like, fuck off, Reddit.
It always falls to some little categories like, oh, someone translated for the whole group. Or
Right?
someone
was like, oh, you know what you should do in your games, and it was only specific to D&D because that's the only system that exists on fucking Reddit. It's like, you should break down the skill levels of languages into categories for your
fuck
game.
off.
And it's like, what skill levels in Fellowship? Please tell me what skill we would break down to levels in Fellowship, you piece of shit.
Or like Chronicles of Darkness, like either you know something or you don't.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
when you
like,
decide
it's
to
not
play-
a failure of the system. The point is, unless languages... Like, the language point even really wasn't the thing. It was the air-breathing mermaid. And, like, it's not even a spike on Fellowship. We're kind of taking it a little far for fun, but still.
It is
People
a
on
problem
Reddit don't
we have
give
seen
good advice.
in the game many times.
Using anecdotes to show up a single example is not the same as refuting the entire goddamn point.
Anyway,
You mean here in this direct area, or on your planet in general?
You're defacing this land. You just were.
Rover!
Sorry. It's quite interesting here how you've managed to do
Over.
this, and I'm
Maybe-
hoping to replicate it.
There it is. I'm going to increase the response level.
Maybe you'd like to offer him some, like,
Pause.
Bro.
And we're back. Okay, so several other aliens, not quite as big and bulky as him, also start to approach from the woods, and he looks offended at what you just said. He looks upset.
I look at you, assuming you translated wrong.
oh, look at me, my translations are perfect.
He makes a sign on his head that looks like he's making a circle that's spiked, almost like a gear.
Okay.
And he kind of reaches down to the ground and grabs a vine and jams it into one of his empty eye sockets. And Rover disappears. Whoa.
What?
The standing stones light up, and it seems to go whoomp, 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 and you hear the telltale crackle of a space bridge, and Rover's not there.
Ooh.
That son of a bitch.
Oh, that's
Do not
impressive.
offend the living god.
Okay.
You can see even Peter slowly put his hands up. He's like, all right, shit's going down.
All right, they've got space bridge technology.
You mind asking where my
The offender is.
the offender just got teleported or turned into a million pieces or whatever?
Away.
Oh, that's not anonymous.
Well, he probably has his transponder somewhere, so we'll pick him up sooner than later.
You need to leave this place. You're desecrating it.
We want to get our stuff, make sure there's none of us remaining, and we will be leaving this place at post haste.
We were about to leave this place, and then our friend vanished, and now we can't leave without it. So you kind of set yourself up into a bit of a quandary there.
He starts looking down at the vine he just picked up. Back at you. Figure it out, guys. Figure out what you're going to do about this guy.
Okay. This is fair enough.
This guy is statted as the tough guy.
Ah.
Yeah.
Which means he has 3 stats. Built strong, so if you damage him, he'll damage you back. He's invincible, which means you have to damage invincible 3 times to take him out. And he is simple-minded. He loves one thing only, and they're easily distracted by that one thing.
I know what that one thing is.
A
You do?
stick?
The life of his planet. I assume. I could be wrong. Or
The
his
dog
god.
cat person. So maybe if we have a laser pointer.
Alright, so I am going to yeah, I think it's what I'll do. I'm going to do something sneaky.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm a small little guy comparatively to most of the stuff. I think you probably understand. Oh, excellent. 13. So one of the little things my character has is a couple monofilaments coming off the edge of it, and he has tied it to the back of the of that machine. Or sorry, the machine, the plant thing that he goes into the eye to activate the.
Yeah, he unplugged it and put it on the ground. He was just eyeing it when you guys were giving him guff again.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's basically just used what the hell is this core power called?
It's a trap.
The little folk. So this is do something clever or sneaky when no one else is paying attention.
Sure, absolutely.
And he's basically just sort of moved over position and set it up so that his the tow cable is using a remote, like a Waldo thing, has been wrapped around this guy's leg. So when the fight starts, it's basically gonna go
When the fight starts.
When the fight
There's that
starts.
diplomat spirit.
it's gonna basically he's gonna go for a drive for a while.
Okay.
Ooh-wee.
We're not quite at that point yet, but my character's the muscle. He's not going to be the one doing the talking.
Peter or Tyler?
So where do you send our friend?
The living God sent him away.
And you don't know where that away is?
Very odd. It's very rare that your kind would come to this place and desecrate it.
Yeah, sorry about that. He is a little over-enthusiastic sometimes. Doesn't really think things through.
Insulted.
All right. He's listening. You're being not, awful about it. All right. What are you looking for here?
Look, we've got to find our friend. We need to know. I mean, if we know where away is, that's where we're gonna go, which solves your problem of us being here.
I don't know.
Can you ask your god?
All right. What are you doing with him? What do you want to convince him to do? Are you throwing something at him?
Do you have an item in a gear you can?
Or talk sense or something like that?
Yeah.
Or like we move.
There's a chance this could go poorly. He's processing. So
Sure.
What do you want to throw at me?
I'll talk sense.
Do you want the
Yeah.
list of
Actually,
things?
no. I'll use one of my moves.
Oh.
I will reveal the way. I
Okay.
will tell someone what is best for them and mean it, and if they listen, I roll plus wisdom. So I'm telling him that he should help us find where our friend went, because then we'll solve his problem by being out of his hair.
Okay, and is that a roll or that just works?
think you
It's
roll.
a roll.
Alright. Make it happen, Captain.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
8 plus 2, 10. So on a 10 plus, they will do as I say, and they'll do it with hope, which...
I don't know what that means for NPCs, but cool.
Yeah.
Because I know that NPCs can be in despair, and that really messes them up. But I don't know what hope does. I should reread that.
Yeah.
This move. Anyway, he kind of... So you want him to try and find your friend?
Yeah.
Or a way out of here to wherever you were going?
I want him to find where...
Oh, ask the living
Find
God.
out. Yeah.
Alright. He'll kind of kneel down and grab one of those cables and plug in, and just sort of meditate. Let's cut away from you three.
I am floating. I don't know.
So, yeah, you were space bridged. Well, technically, if you were the science type, you know that the energy signal is a ground bridge, which means it's usually local to a terrestrial body. There are limits, though, and you're in one of those limits because it ground bridged you into low orbit.
So I'm just floating around this planet?
Let's call it fall.
I'm following the style.
Oh, sweet God. Okay. I can do this. Hold your potato salad. I can do this.
I will.
Okay, it's going to cost me things, but I think I can do this.
Oh, boy.
So...
You're fine. You always have your one-use thing.
Yeah, I do, but I don't want to waste that much.
Fair enough.
Let's use mine. Yeah. Look, it's a slingshot or it's a rubber band anti-space bridge tech.
Look, they also have a space bridge. Whoop.
So,
I mean, if Kevin's character was here, he could just fly in and rescue you.
I mean, I can
Using-
also fly.
hold up. Using Workaholic,
Oh, boy. Here we
I-
go, the combo.
can pay a food to do anything, and that allows me to swap out one of my items for a different item on my item list.
Isn't workaholic only useful when you're filling your belly and then
Nope.
you eat Scooby snacks?
Oh yeah, it needs a
Workaholic is only useful when I'm filling my belly, but I have upkeep, which allows me to use Workaholic at any time.
Ah, there you go.
So I combo that. Then I can swap one of my gear options, and the new gear option I'm swapping out for is a flying thing. I can spend one use to fly for just a few moments, or I can overcharge it to fly for the entire scene. So, however long you deem necessary for me to get
So you get a
safely to the
parachute,
ground.
Yeah, crash pack.
Yeah, so I can...
So you just happen to bring a crash pack with you.
Yeah,
Or cobble it together as you're falling
yeah, as
down.
I'm falling, I'm just like... Yeah.
So, yeah, you start crashing among the thick, dense foliage through a tree canopy and don't crash.
Perfect.
You did it!
Whew. Kind of stands up. Rover looks around.
Where the hell are you?
I'm just gonna push my transmitter beacon to ping you guys to let you know I'm safe and where I am. And
Oh no, they spoke his signal.
He's fairly far away. He's in the opposite direction you want to go to find where you're going.
And then, I'm gonna. I didn't need to overcharge it. What is overcharging?
Since you're the collector, you can add tags onto your items, and one of them is overcharge tag.
Yeah. What is?
You can use 2 uses out of something,
Oh,
and it
okay.
improves the function.
Yeah.
So instead of flying for a few
That's
seconds,
fair, yeah.
you could fly for.
Overcharge.
Okay, so I've already used
remote.
one, which means I can't overcharge it unless I.
Unless you
Okay.
use 2, and you said.
No, I only have 2, but I used one to stop myself from falling. I guess I could fix it with Workaholic and then overcharge it to get to you guys, but I'd be a scene behind. I think I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Alright.
that's what I'll be behind, but I assume I can ping to their location. I can figure out where they are.
Yeah, you can catch up.
Okay, but I assume I'll be a bit behind.
Yeah, you can come on in.
I mean, that's
Maybe
not
I'll
like a
get your
getaway, and if you get there quickly, maybe.
We'll see.
Anyway, so that's what I'm doing currently. I just gotta fiddle with my sheet now to. Okay.
All right. So yeah, we'll come back to you guys as you're making your way alone through the
Yep.
forest.
Flying.
Huh. Well, you've landed, so you're.
No, I just said I
He rebuilt the flying
I
back overcharged.
spent another food
Oh,
to
shoot.
rebuild
Yeah,
the
all
flying
right.
thing to overcharge it to fly.
Yeah, you'll cover more in the air then. Perfect. All right, you guys, what are you up to?
Well, if we've been in comm range now with, then we're basically like, oh, neat, never mind, we're good. We'll just get our stuff and get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he'll get up from where he was and unplug.
Okay, let's maybe leave this area and not desecrate it further. Shall we?
I'll say that basically, take a quick look over, just like grab like a random piece of metal he was carrying and like hammers it with the vices for a little bit, and
What? Hammer with vices?
well, like with the vice,
You're
like, the
stumping
vice
it.
hands, right? Like
yeah.
hands it over, and it's like got a picture of his face with like a no through it. This should keep him away from the rocks.
We'll just I'll take it. Just hold on to it.
And that's a new religion was born.
And then you're gonna come back. It's like, no, Ian.
We'll start trudging towards Rover.
In the opposite direction.
Towards Rover. Yeah, in the opposite
Are
direction.
we going towards Rover, or are we going towards
No.
the location we wanted to go to and...
The original location we want to go to.
Well, don't we want to collect Rover first?
No, I've already pinged you to let you know I'm coming to you.
If he's coming to us,
Okay.
I mean,
this is a big, bad, scary jungle.
well, your call.
Is it?
I don't know. What's the pecking order around here?
And thus PvP started.
Everyone's shooting.
Not the Golden Lagoon.
Looks like you're the tiebreaker, Jack. Mom.
Let's go get our guy first. I mean, no offense, but not just for his sake, though that is kind of important, but also his capacity to piss off the living god, or the Cybertronian god sleeping underneath, or Waspinator, or whatever the hell else is on this planet.
Nothing that occurred, sir.
So we start heading towards Rover.
Okay, you guys then, yeah, you'll be able to meet up, but something's gonna be coming at you. Alright, you're just gonna lose daylight. Like, it's gonna become nighttime by the time you guys meet up.
Okay.
Darker, more illuminated, and nighttime is when predators usually are out.
I'll land beside you guys just as you hear like the weird flying thing I've hobbled together, just like definitely burns out. Huh. Well, that was interesting. I got shot into low orbit and fell down here.
Maybe we should refrain from touching too much.
Yeah,
For the rest of the
I got enough samples. They're good.
Maybe yes.
Did you guys find where the signal was coming from?
We were kind of more concerned about, the fact that you just suddenly disappeared off the face of the planet to hear
Well,
from
thank you.
parts unknown.
Don't get sentimental about it.
Okay.
No Autobot left behind.
Thanks. Rover's looking very bashful, just like, okay.
Let's avoid the alien rock god space bridge thing.
We'll at least try to bribe them.
Rover's going through his pockets like, I could bribe him.
Let's see. Okay.
Alright, I was gonna... You were gonna...
So, start trudging back the way we
Yeah, back. You gotta double back now.
Yeah.
continuously trampling through the forest.
So, you were at the landmark, now you have to get back to the landmark.
Yep.
As you go through, I'm going to say, Peter,
Yes.
or Viator, that alien is still following you.
Oh, I disconnected the.
Oh, did
the
you?
totem. Yeah. Want to make that really clear.
Pretty good that you did that.
No, he's following with me on the chain around his ankle.
Yeah, he's being
I can't
dragged
believe. Something's
Every couple
compelling.
minutes, the response level goes ping, 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 ping.
So, we probably going to be leaving this place when we found Rover or when we found the other thing? Can you refresh my memory, Amble?
Sorry, what was that?
Well, we promised that we're going to be leaving this,
He wanted us to leave the graveyard.
it's kind of ambiguous as to what he was.
Wasn't to me.
Okay. We're going to keep it at that, sure. Fine enough, because, some things are watching and what have you.
Kind of wish we had a space shuttle overhead.
Yeah, would have been smart.
Well, that probably would be drawing more attention to us.
Anyway, so we keep going.
All right.
Not like we got to sleep for the night.
Yeah, not like. All
This
right.
thing's gotta sleep, right?
I've got Screamo on my shoulder. He's just shining light, illuminating our path.
Like, a modern, torch in the, forest. Like, hello, sunlight.
I picture it still spinning though, so we're like walking, and then stop, wait for it to spin back around, walk, stop.
Tracer eyes.
We better use our Autobot stealth mode. Like, then it just pans back, and there's like this there's sirens and like giant lights as these like 30-foot robots are crawling over this.
An ambulance coming to the forest.
Stealth mode. Such a beautiful thing.
How the hell my character can actually pull off stealth is just
I can be stealthy as a 50-foot robot, spider thing. Or,
50-foot spider just...
But I actually have the halfling move, so
yeah.
maybe I should take the move that lets me shrink down to bread box size.
You'd be a little,
So small.
Yeah, you'd be like a mini-con. Even the mini-cons would insult you. That's bad.
Size changing, mass shifting technologies are a thing.
I know.
All right. Well, now that it's nighttime and everything's a little more dangerous, you're on the way over. So let's see what happens. I don't want to throw combat at you because we're trying to move towards more peaceable solutions. But you definitely can tell that guy is following you, as is his group of warriors.
I mean, there are other moves, like, separating people. And
I just did that.
Ah.
So I'm going to throw weather at you again because that weather's still kicking up with the spores, the caustic spores. So that's a soft cut coming to all of you.
I'm gonna douse myself again.
For another use.
Yeah.
I'll rely on my apparently not so good caustic treatment. And of course not.
Let's see.
Do you need our medic to heal you?
I do.
I rolled a 1.
Are you capable? You're capable of healing him easily,
yeah.
I assume. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you fail again?
Yes, of course I did.
All right, your friend is burning up a bit. Warning: environmental systems compromised.
I'm going to use my
Fruit
explorer's
cider.
gear.
Fine.
I have some environmental protection power charges for my overshield that just kind of amp it up and grant me temporary protection from hazardous environments. So I'm going to burn that. And then I'm going to heal Jack him up by damaging my little light.
Wee you.
So the little light just hops down, runs over and does the whole like scan you thing.
Yeah.
And then
That
locks
3D wireframe model shows up.
and then locks into its siren form. And I pick it back up and put it on my shoulder.
Yo, thanks, Doc.
All right. So as that's happening, because you guys had to, stop obviously to recoup for a moment, that alien's going to approach you again, and like his compatriots are in the trees. They're hanging out in the background. They're smaller than him. You can kind of tell them. And he's gonna approach.
So,
His bioluminescent eyes glowing in the dark.
It's good to see you again.
Is it?
Why wouldn't it be?
Where are you going?
Like I said, we're looking for a signal.
I can't keep going down this path.
What's wrong with this path?
Leads somewhere safe.
Well, that sounds like a good reason to head there.
Safe from gestures you, the night terrors.
We're not night terrors.
You came from the sky, from the night.
Yeah, but we're not terrors.
You're made of swords and axes.
You've got a spear.
The world gave it to me. Pierces your hide. The dragon armor.
I think we got off on the wrong foot earlier. That's my fault. I'm sorry. Pull out a precious item.
Is it that thing again?
Yeah.
So it's whatever he wants, right?
Yeah.
Alright, it's a pyramid made of gold. Like his eyes get big.
So, we just want to check on this signal.
We could use a
We're
guide.
worried, and we could use a guide, and we'd like to offer this as a gesture of faith for you helping us.
plus it'll keep us from messing up anything accidentally with
Very well. Perhaps I could keep you out of trouble. He'll reach forward for it.
I'll pass it to him. Okay. So I forge a bond with him.
Oh, good. You're going to actually ask his name.
Yeah. What's his name?
You forged a bond with Osiris. The tough guy.
Osiris, the tough guy.
Yeah, he looks at it and he quickly fashions a necklace out of some vines nearby that are taut and springy and puts it around his neck upside down, so it's like a pyramid hanging off his neck.
Okay. Cool.
He just looks up and nods his head till all are one.
Perfect. I'm still not injured, and I don't care if he's injured. Currently don't care. I might
he is
care in the
injured.
future. Is he injured?
Yeah, he's missing an eye. It was shot out of him by people made of swords and axes.
But none of his stats are injured.
I'm gonna heal one of his stats and one of my stats, even though I don't need it. So I'll heal him.
How does that even work? I guess there were nanites, or there was energon or structure gel in the thing.
Maybe some of it is just colored and has a prosthetic eye now.
I was just gonna assume it was gonna regenerate him because of the probably radiation.
Yeah.
This whole planet's lousy with it.
I won't take an extra favor from him. I'll be nice.
I mean, he's a companion now.
Yeah.
He's your buddy.
Yeah.
You can take him with.
You could take him with. He's your size.
That's true. I don't know how his species... Yeah.
We'll put you in a terrarium and
Yeah.
observe you.
Yeah. Osiris, the tough guy.
All right. Okay. Well, that's dealt with. So yeah, after going through this area, resting and moving on, you come to the source of the signal. So you are looking at. I'm going to change the music because it's been spooky music for way too long. Where the fuck is that new soundtrack?
Are you still hurt?
my optics is still a
I'm a bit hurt.
little screwy.
But you're gonna eat later or something.
Okay, when we get here, I'm going to heal you again.
So, you are looking at a place that doesn't have a lot of forest on it. It is a large Grand Canyon area, but every ounce of it isn't covered in rock. It's covered in foliage, but the foliage is braided really well. Shit, what's that word for when you fix up servers to make them look nice? Cable management. Yeah. It looks like the vines and the trees here have been cable meshed, so everything flows into the valley really smoothly and neatly, and the bioluminescence is moving like like charges of electrons through wires. Like it's all like flowing and strobing like a neon highway made of plants.
Oh, whoa.
Above this canyon is a large edifice made of stone with large deposits of that metal on it, and it is like floating above the canyon, and it has like vines crawling up onto it and charges still going across it.
Okay, I gotta say that is pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, this is where the signal is originating from. You are at the island stretch of the journey. So yeah, you kind of got to look around here to find the signal.
I'll start looking.
All right, so you got a Grand Canyon, you got a floating island, and you got miles and miles of vine cable.
I'm gonna try and follow the cables back to some kind of central source that they might all be connecting to.
It looks like they flow out of this canyon into the rest of the surrounding jungle.
It looks like a large processing node, or what have you, a CPU of sorts, only organic.
Well, Osiris here was able to like plug into the planet almost. What is that like when you do that?
It's tuning.
Interesting. Can I look closely and see if we're capable of plugging in to this?
You're incompatible with this.
Okay.
Unless, you adopted a pretender shell that was, then it would act as an interface between the two, like an adapter.
Unless this is
That requires significant overhauling. You'd have to
Yeah.
change your alt form and go in for surgery.
Yeah.
unless it's a form of communication, in which case...
Oh, this? It's communication the same way nerves are. Does that count? You tell me, does that count?
Maybe if we could, this is just not something that my character would suggest, but might occur to someone more technically minded, like literally anyone else here. One of you with technical abilities could, like, conceivably, although it might piss him off, build some kind of interface thing because you have an organic collection, and then he could translate.
That's true.
You could also have someone plug into it and talk to them.
Yeah.
Well, it's convenient that we have someone that's, capable,
Yeah, I'll
And there's
ask
a bond.
Osiris if he's willing to. Are you willing to plug in and talk to your god? Excuse my god.
I tune with the environment.
Yes. Could you communicate with it? See, what are we?
We'll see whether there's something foreign in this area, I suppose.
Yeah, something non-organic in this area.
He points at you guys. I found them.
My apologies. Something that might be buried underground.
Or wrapped around.
Wrapped up.
We got a big thing in the sky that sees stuff like that sees all sorts of weird things for gods and magic, and it said there was something like us right around here, specifically according to what we were saying, down underneath all this.
Kind of just shrugs and kneels down next to one of the cables and kind of just grabs a smaller one and plugs into the back of his head because his eye is healing up, which he notices but just didn't mention. Just didn't talk about it.
It's just
Don't take it, don't say
that's what
it.
happens when you hang out with gods.
Yeah, the bioluminescent patches on him, like the cat striping, basically start like going in like bright, different sequences. Kind of like how deep sea squids do, like vampire squids.
Okay.
They'll do that thing where they kind of like project ideas. I don't know what you're looking for.
Anything that doesn't look like it fits in this planet.
Well, maybe we could start playing the signal to him, like what we've been picking up, just isolate it and
That's a good idea.
convey it to them.
Okay, yeah, and with your translating, going through him, going into the planet, he unplugs the vine. The song. That's the song of our prime city.
Prime is a wood that's got the big wood no culture.
Yeah. Prime is a very important word in culture.
He like gestures like to the floating island and like under it. It's like under there.
Can we go there?
You know the songs you belong.
Perfect. Thank you.
He follows you. I was born here.
Oh, thanks.
With
It
my
is
brothers
lovely.
and sisters.
It's lovely here.
That was before the night terrors came, and we had to move the barrier in place. He gestures at the floating island.
Huh. We should deal with that before we leave this planet.
What do you mean by deal with it? Because that could have many implications.
Captain Grievous owes me a favor, and I'm on good terms with Osiris now. We could try and broker some sort of peace for...
The night terrors can't be negotiated with. They're soulless monsters.
Yeah, it's funny. It's pretty much said the same thing about you guys.
We can't kill them. They don't seem to have the same problem.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know what the soul is, and there's there's spark casing and so on and so on. Do you have that as well?
Maybe you can do some communications here.
Yeah.
My understanding is that the primary reason these guys are here.
Well, let's put a pin in solving their
Entire world
problems right now. Let's figure out.
First, let's check in.
Oh, yeah,
we're
let's
going
signal,
to destroy
and
this
then
place.
let's go
Well,
solve their problem.
That sounds like something it would take more than a few minutes to
you know, one of the directors, don't get involved in politics and what have you. Okay.
He walks you through the cable forest down below. As you go into this crevice, it looks like this used to be like an ancient seabed of some sort, and this used to be like a Marianas Trench. So there's lots of cliff sides and scaling walls that have been dug into with the cables feeding in and out of them, and it looks like a city built on the side of cliffs. Like there are homes and stuff here.
Oh wow.
Stone to early agricultural age, which you guys only know of because of his terrariums, because you guys didn't have a Stone Age. Unless you listen to Cup. See, normal Cybertronian, objectively correct dogma teaches us that Primus created Cybertron and then created a bunch of stuff and then eventually created you in his image, wholly formed and ready to lead and be the Titans of the Galaxy you are. If you listen to Cup, who even though he's older than all of you jackasses, and probably has met some of the Primes, because he's just that old, he believes in an agnostic origin of Cybertronian life, where this was a metal planet that once had tribes of springs and gears and sprockets and cogs that would war with each other independently, and eventually they started working together and forming into more complex life. Single-part organisms forming together into multi-part organisms.
What a bunch of horse shit.
Yeah, that guy's crazy. Cup is a crazy person. Don't listen to him.
That's why he's a freaking cop.
He once stated that the war between the Autobots and Decepticons originally was Cup's rogues versus the Decepticons, but then he was convinced to change the branding and the name by some nebbish librarian who ended up leading it.
Why are you using his old name? He's supposed to be piece of shit now. Everyone knows that one, right?
What?
Robot chicken's good. It's like, wow, I look like a gold bug when they rejuvenate Bumblebee.
Oh yeah, because I used the gold bug toy.
I feel like a piece of crap. Very well, from now on, you will be known as piece of shit.
Cup showed up in the last game, and he was the best.
Nitro Zeus was the best.
Okay, Nitro Zeus was really good, and it's a shame that he can't be present. Or can he? X-Files theme plays.
No.
So,
yeah, you found the hidden city. This is the place. This is full of his people. Like, full of it. Like, there's like a couple 100,000 people here.
Are they all as big as him, or...?
No, but some are different. Like, there's different...
Okay.
I guess the term would be what? Clades? Phenotypes?
Breeds.
Little eugenics worry, Khan Noonien sings.
I mean,
Clades is a pretty good term for this.
Yeah.
This is the Prime City, the original home.
Wow.
Yeah, people are freaking out, but like they see that you're with him, and there's stuff happening. People are talking.
So there's got to be some kind of central central location. Can we
Yeah.
weed out some of the stuff in the scanner? Maybe take a look around. My scan is still a little junky in this.
Yeah, sounds like we should be looking closely. Who's got good sense?
I'll aid
Warden
you.
on me.
I got +2. What do you?
We'll work together.
Okay. So, looking closely. Oy. That'll be a 6.
+2, making it an
Oh,
8.
an 8. Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Find out one of the questions the hard way.
You find out one of the answers the hard way.
Get to ask 3 questions.
Oh boy.
War were declared.
So I'm just gonna pause real quick. We're back.
Okay. So using my scanner, am I able to pinpoint
The
more
signal
of
is
a...
broadcasting heaviest from whatever seems to be the communal meeting place of this place.
Okay. So, is something hidden or out of place? What looks suspicious about the communal? Like what?
And what was your third question?
I think I can only ask. Do I ask 3? And then I find
Yeah,
out.
you asked 3. You
Oh,
find
you
out
find
one
out
hard.
one the
So-
hard way. Okay.
Maybe
So-
you can ask like, what's the actual source of it? Is it an actual Cybertron? Or is it just a sort of relay? Like, what's
Yeah. Well, that's
the-
why I said what's out of place. What's going on there? And
Ask-
then
Where is the Cybertronian signal coming from? Would be
that's
could potentially
the
be,
central meeting place. You just said
like
that.
what? Is it
And
what
then-
is it? What's generating?
Yeah. What?
All right, so I'll do the hard way of that later into this conversation we're about to
Okay.
have.
Yeah.
Not just immediately. You know, I can delay it. Okay, so a lot of these aliens are coming up to you guys, not really wanting you to come into their home because you're monsters.
That's fair.
You're demons from the sky.
That's fair.
You're to kill them. Yeah, there's a lot of signs of injuries on some of these people, like the ones that are clearly warriors and the ones that are clearly refugees. They're approaching you, arguing with Osiris. So it looks like Osiris probably should have brought you here.
That's fair. I'm making very peaceful, calming kind of gestures and just trying to be respectful.
Osiris gestured to his eye in the gold.
I'm playing that song on my radio. The song.
They understand the song of the city. They belong here. Anyone who does, does. That's the rule. And they're going back and forth on it. It's like they're monsters, they're night terrors, they came from the sky, they've tricked you.
I'm going to start tending to some of the refugees.
They shy away from you. They're scared of you.
Are you gonna have Screamo do some repairs?
That's my plan.
So maybe we should talk to Osiris and get him to.
Osiris, can you tell these people I'm a doctor?
You say through Peter, through him.
He's a doctor.
He gestures over to one of them. They're long and willowy and have the same kind of jungle colorations, which are a lot of greens and blues and avatar color schemes. Guys, this isn't hard.
Yep.
But they're tall, willowy. They're wearing what looks like a plague doctor mask made out of petrified wood. And there's multiple eyes, asymmetrical. These guys are really asymmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
And so one has a long set of eyes on one side, the other one has only a couple, but they're in a different configuration, like constellations. You can see kind of glowing out from the mask, and it approaches to talk to you.
Through Peter.
Yep, of course.
Mermaids can't breathe air.
Right? Fuck. You're a healer?
I am.
What good is your healing? We're not made of night terror.
True, but I've studied organics.
I'm responsible for these people here. If I let you work on them, or if I let you try to heal them and you harm them, it'll be my fault.
Cyrus didn't used to have 2 eyes.
He pulls something from behind his cloak, or like that might be like tied up in like a tendril or a tail, and it looks like a your-sized firearm, and he shoots himself in the arm.
Okay.
And then tosses the gun into a pit somewhere, like over the edge of the city into the pit. He just kind of puts it out there, like he has his arm like outstretched away from him, looking at you.
I'm going to use a use of my healing kit to actually do it properly.
Like sit down and be like, bzzz.
Yeah, and
Bioregeneration and stuff.
yeah, have Screamo do like the 3D scan and restructure his arm.
Yeah, these aliens are weird. You're getting to look at like their internal structures, so muscle tissue, normal, like everything's normal for organics, but their nervous system is a lot more like fiber optics. Like speed of light travel, there's various parts on them that look like they'd almost be access ports if they were mechanical. And their bones are weaved in like carbon nanotubes. Which that's pretty advanced even for Cybertronian tech, post-autocracy.
Yeah.
Being able to like do nanotech, that's tricky.
You have a very interesting internal structure.
It was a gift from God.
God gives good gifts.
The alien nods and kind of just like flexes and looks at the damage and pokes at it. It doesn't leave scars or anything. Does it look fine?
Oh yeah, that works much better than the welding gun and the hot resin.
Let's not talk about
You're a
that
healer.
incident.
Like he kind of like makes a sort of gesture to the people to be like, no, it's good. In their culture.
I'll go around and start tending to them.
The alien will hang out with you.
Okay.
The alien's name is Thoth.
Can I forge a bond with him?
You're gonna be helping these people pretty much the whole time. How much use as a heal kit do you have?
2.
Like left?
No.
1 left?
Yes.
What else do you got for uses? Give me a bone here.
Who's got Screamo for can heal one? Can one straight up right for scene?
Yeah, I can heal once per scene with Screamo.
Alright, if you spend a use of heal for Screamo, I will say that's spread over these people because they don't require quite the same amount of healing that you guys do. You can forge a bond with him. Alright, yeah, people are impressed. They liked that. Like, you're obviously all involved because you have to travel in a group because only one of you speaks the language. But yeah, Thoth, he kind of gives that deferral gesture and makes that cog symbol and goes to all are one.
Till all are one.
That sounds familiar.
Did I make it too subtle?
Oh, man.
The other leaders of this community kind of come together, talk to Thoth and Osiris, and start kind of huddling up. What looks like... I don't know how to... Pardon me. One that's dressed up like a warrior, but not like a big, bulky brawler like Osiris was, but they're more in like kind of regal, almost ceremonial armor built to intimidate. It almost kind of looks like it's... have you guys seen the new Dark Crystal?
Most
Some
of
of
it.
it.
There's a sketch in it called The Hunter.
Yeah.
That's, instead of being played by a Muppet, it's a suit actor, and it looks way scarier because they have a lot more they can do with a suit actor in there. It looks kind of like that, like ceremonially built to look intimidating, even incorporating some of those mech suit metals into the design.
Neat.
We've decided that you're allowed to stay here.
That's
Thank
very
you.
generous of you.
We have to all band together in this time of darkness as the night terrors come. You can stay here with us and have our shelter.
It's very appreciated.
We don't have caves quite big enough for you in normal levels, but down below there are some places you could live.
We'd actually like to, and I gesture at the ceremonial eating.
So the ceremonial area looks like a larger version of Stonehenge made of that petrified plant material, and it looks like it's more like an auditorium or like a presentation area, or maybe almost like a church. But it's open concept, open air. It's one of those platforms on the wall that's been ceremonialized and decorated and given like ceremony and importance. That's what you're gesturing to.
Yeah, if it's at all possible, we'd like to just look in there for a moment as...
Of course. You should come tune with us.
Perfect.
You're here now.
Yep. Yes.
Like, they make their way over, like, around the time that you figure would be a ritualized time of day, when, like, there's you know, the one yellow star and the gas giant, they kind of line up in a way to make a sort of regular eclipse, because you're on a moon.
Yep.
And they all gather around, they plug themselves in, and make various... the pattern they're sitting on is a pattern for, like, a stylized Cybertronian cog.
Okay. Interesting.
You guys are allowed to be kind of, like, in the middle of it, basically.
Yeah.
They vaguely understand that you can't do what they're doing, but they'll, like, start doing their ritual, where they talk to each other through the network.
Okay.
That's where you're going to learn the hard way about the Cybertronian signal. Because they all kind of, like, they're simultaneously moving away. Again, that scene from Avatar, this isn't subtle.
Yeah.
They all kind of stop and kind of, like, all start lying down, like they're passing out. And there's a large quake coming from the area around you.
I think something is either waking up, or is it coming, like, is it like a quake of like from above or from below?
From below the planet.
I think it's waking up.
Yeah.
So a large plant matter, like flower pod or Venus flytrap pod, kind of rises up from the crevice below, and kind of just unfurls itself like an elevator.
I'm gonna get into it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's big enough to hold you guys and maybe 10 other Cybertronians.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is,
Yeah, this is the Grand Canyon you're in.
Okay, I'm legitimately curious.
yeah.
Little concerned, I gotta admit. Not scared. Not me, but little concerned.
Curiosity, scrap the microbot.
Well,
Combat.
question is, are they a victim or are they a cursor here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Down you guys go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you'll travel down for a while, a long while, but what do you guys care, right? It's going at a pretty good clip. Let me just pause for a second. And we're back. You eventually, the plant brings you down to a small crevice at the bottom of the canyon that usually looks like it's blocked off by plants and whatnot. You go down further into the actual planet itself, and eventually start feeling like thermal energy from the planet's core. And that's when you hear it, that telltale sign of a T-cog spooling up. The platform stops, and the large sort of root system inside starts shifting and changing, snapping itself off in some areas, and unplugging like large machine coax cables covered in plant material. As it reconfigures to become a large humanoid presence, like 10 to 100 times bigger than you guys, the size of a Titan.
Oh.
The pretender shell for the plant material breaks open, and you're staring at a Cybertronian Titan. Female patterned, lots of kind of greens and grays and sort of like flower colorations on her. That same kind of stoic face plate that most larger Cybertronians have, but it's kind of built to look like a tree trunk.
Yep.
I am Botanica. What are you doing on my moon?
We heard your signal. Came to check it out.
You did not come with the others in orbit.
No.
Fortuitous.
So have you been here since? How long have you been here? Did you miss the war?
What war?
Oh, wow.
Which war?
Yeah.
The war.
Which the war?
Does she have an Autobot or
Nope.
Decepticon?
Nah. Those powered Tron lines are just going all around her. None of them are built into that.
Have you heard of Megatron?
Yes, one of the primes.
The next Megatron.
Yes, one of the primes. Take the namesake of the original.
The next one. We start narrowing it down, I guess.
Basically just things went
Pre-autocracy, probably Knights of Cybertron era, the Golden Age.
Okay.
The Star League.
Yeah.
I am Botanica. This is my world.
Apologize for landing here. We were worried that there was an Cybertronian in distress.
No, I'm not in distress.
Wonderful. Well, it's good to know you are safe.
Nice place you got, yeah.
It was. It's unfortunate that it'll have to be purged.
Purged?
Outside contaminants are damaging the ecosystem. If I can't prevent it, I'll have to start over.
Oh, she needs those miners.
Yeah.
Well, they're part of the league, so that might be a problem.
Yeah. We will do what we can to talk to them.
That would be excellent. It would be a shame to have to start over, especially with such promising results.
May I ask what you are attempting?
This is my world.
Yes, but with the organic life forms up there, it's quite interesting how they can connect to you.
I was looking to improve the biosophont state, make them more in line of the great shape of the Lord of Change.
Incredible. Do you mind if I take a copy of some of your research?
The research is inside of me. It's part of my cognition module. I haven't really had the need for a laboratory. I have a world.
Valid. Rover's just kind of like, oh, the dream. But, yeah.
We should warn you about something that might be heading its way too.
Yes.
Real problem in a couple thousand cycles, maybe less.
Maybe more. I don't know how far.
So we'll explain the swarm.
Yeah.
Bio-Titan parasites. They are a problem in this galaxy. Easy enough to prevent if you manipulate the local gas giants.
Interesting. That's good to know. We'll take notes on anything she knows.
Basically, the planet has engines on it that allows you to push it into the gas giant when the need arises, and you just change the gas giant's atmosphere to be caustic to those creatures.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So how did you get out here?
I was part of one of the original exploration colonies during the Knight's great plan to uplift the galaxy, move it away from its dark ages. I was given full access to research facilities and experimental retrofitting technology. It allowed me to become one with this moon.
It's really cool.
Well, you missed a lot of weird stuff down on Cybertron.
I've not been back to Homeworld for several galactic turns.
Yes.
Kind of looking around like, do we tell?
Do we tell her about the Holocaust?
Maybe
it'll be fixed by the time she gets there.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
happy here.
Yeah,
so.
she's. I'm not the one going to tell her. That's for sure.
Well, we'll leave a quick note on Waspinator and the Decepticons because they're exact. We should probably leave at least that much information just in case.
Yeah, there are some.
This site is bad.
Yeah,
A little more likely to just sort of.
they are more aggressive.
Oh, there was a civil war.
Yes. Very well. Okay.
Well, we'll have to
We will-
just negotiate
Yeah.
with the miners, see.
We will leave you in peace.
Okay.
It was nice conversing with fellow Cybertronians.
Do you mind if we mention in case someone wants to talk to you back to the 12 people? Otherwise, we'll just keep it on the down low.
Their awareness of me is... They have an awareness of my presence here, but it need not be complicated with specifics.
Oh yeah, I meant odd people too, just in case someone wants to come say hi.
Smaller Cybertronians are more of a nuisance than anything. They're loud and noisy.
Okay. We'll keep this one on the log.
Exactly, right? That's exactly what you guys are to her. It's like, comrade, comrade, comrade. comrade. Wee you, comrade. That's all she's hearing. Wee.
Oh.
Okay. So I guess we're wrapping here.
Yeah, we'll wrap here because here's the setup I'll give you guys. If you care about the people of this planet, I don't know if you do or not.
You do.
These people are going to be wiped out real hard if these aliens keep interfering. Mostly because they're trying to strip mine this planet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if they keep doing that, Botanica is just going to wipe the surface.
Yeah.
She has a very efficient way of doing it, too. She'll drive this place into the gas giant.
Yeah. Which will also stop the strip mining.
Yep.
But on the other hand, see, on one hand, fighting the good fight is always good. On the other hand, this is Avatar, and literally one of the most common complaints of Avatar is, gee, Jake, why didn't you just, do what literally the whole reason they got you to do that thing and say, hey, they just want this mineral stuff.
Yeah, he did a terrible job of explaining things, but the problem here is you got to get these people off this planet. Because it's not that, they want to mine the mineral, it's that the planet will literally kill everyone.
Yeah.
So he's a chill pill.
Yeah. So, yeah, you could do the Avatar thing and do an extended fight against the miners and the security company. You can negotiate. There's, like, a character on the mothership that's, like, part of the company you can talk to.
Yep.
You can talk to the people here, maybe ferry them all onto a ship. Be like, all right, Botanica, nuke this place.
We could lead a desperate guerrilla war and convince them they have to come down and lead a desperate guerrilla war involving, like, stakes on ropes and falling rocks and.
I mean, you have a ship in orbit.
Yeah, but we sort of have to do
We
it
have
this
a
way,
gunboat.
don't we? Aren't we
Boats
like
and guns.
contractually obliged to?
You can do it however you want. Like literally, you can do this however you want. I made it so it didn't have to be endlessly doing a fight. I'm trying to do what Fellowship wants us to do, where it's like you talk this shit out.
Well, I mean, I've set up. I have connections now
Yeah.
between some people. And
Hey,
And
Mighty
there's
Boss,
stuff
you
going
owe
on
me a
with-
favor.
The security company has stuff going on, and so does the mining company.
Yeah.
Like the most common. It's been 10 years. The most common responses to the problems of Avatar, I've kind of sketched out a little.
Yep.
Like it's a little more three-dimensional than like. There's that scene in Avatar with the briefing room where there's an American flag in the background, and the first 5 guys in the row are like angry, overweight rednecks with shotguns that Red Letter Media pointed out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Trick you into thinking the military is bad, even though they are objectively bad, yes, of course. But like, the movie is not that complex. James Cameron wrote it in the 80s and based it off of like John Carter or Mars. There's not a lot going on here. But with that said, I guess we'll wrap for the night. So I was Devin.
Tyler.
Ian.
Peter.
Mark.
And this is sponsored by Nobody. Signing off.